potential's there for this to be massive for the casual players all the way to some of the most pro of players.
I'm gonna give you this chicken. It's yours.
We're gonna tell you everything.
Everything.
Touch grass, guys.
Says the guy who says, give us something to do for 8 hours straight.
So if that's going to be successful, the game can kind of snowball.
I share feedback and tell them, you're not scaring me, Joao. I know you're just being silly.
Hey everyone, welcome to mo.convo. Number 2.
Let's go!
We are back. Yeah, I guess we survived the pilot. And I have the randoms from yesterday back. They were just knocking on the door.
Let us in, it's freezing out here.
Yeah, and I was like, do you want something? Food, drinks, a podcast? We are back here to discuss about moco and all of it around it. So, welcome and let's talk.
Let's start.
Let's go.
Into it.
I should introduce you, but do I really need to? I guess I feel like I only need to introduce myself like, I'm Joao, the face of the game. But yes, I'm going to do the same as the last time, more or less. I'm going to ask you guys to say who you are, for those people to live under a rock. What do you do? Like, what games do you cover? The stuff that you do, and your favorite non-mobile game.
Okay.
We can start by, we can do like a V or something.
Perfect, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm Kairos Time. I've got a YouTube channel that I cover a lot of Supercell games, but mostly Brawl Stars and also some moco when there's stuff to talk about with moco. Which is now. Now's the time to talk about moco. Or, next couple months when we actually have some updates. Favorite non-mobile game has got to be old school RuneScape. Play it all the time. It's fun.
Awesome.
Fun MMO. Take a lot of inspiration from it when it comes to my feedback on games like moco that are kind of similar and also other games that aren't. Yeah,
makes sense.
All right. I'm Xpectation. I cover moco mostly exclusively. I used to play PUBG Mobile a lot. Maybe some people know me from there. The most favorite games I play are like these escape rooms and puzzle games. I really like strategizing and stuff. So that's what I like to play.
Awesome.
I'm Echo Gaming. I cover a variety of mobile games with a pretty heavy focus on Supercell games. My favorite non-mobile game, I don't really play anything but mobile games now, but we could say Gears of War is an all-time favorite.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm GazTommo. I cover moco content on my YouTube channel, and I don't really play many non-mobile games at the minute, but I think my favourite all-time non-mobile game that I was most addicted to, and don't hate me for these, was probably Fortnite.
Oh, he said it! I'm just kidding.
All right. I said on the last podcast what's my favorite non-mobile game. I'm going to do a quick introduction. I'm Joao, community manager for moco. My favorite non-mobile game, I said Hollow Knight last time. It's still valid. I played Silk Song. Finally, I beat it after 70 hours. I was going crazy with the game.
If you don't know, that's impressive. It's a hard game.
Yeah. 100%. I did it. I also love games like Cuphead. Back in the days, I played a lot of these point-and-clicker games like Broken Sword and Monkey Island. I love them. Super cool humor. And platformers like Rayman. I love Rayman as well.
Rayman was great.
Yeah, Rayman is great.
That's great. That's memories just popped into my head.
I hope he comes back at some point.
Yeah.
That was it. Welcome to Helsinki. Really, thank you for coming here and helping the team with a lot of feedback. It's been amazing. I hope you brought your sunscreen because it's boiling outside, or the moon screen. I don't know. But just for context, for the audience, Finland in November, it's like dark. Finnish people call it the death month. So I thought, okay, let's nourish and value these content creators that are so valuable for us, that they cover our games. How do I do that? I bring them to Helsinki in November, where everything is dark and kind of depressing. I think if Batman lived in Helsinki, he had a burnout because he would have to work all the time because it's always night. That's it. Let's start by talking about cool stuff. Before going into moco, let's give a bit of retrospective. So we launched in Was it March? Oh my God.
March
It was
18th,
so
I
long
believe.
ago, man. It's so
March
much has
18th, I
changed.
believe.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
Xpectations knows better than me when we launched. So March 18th, thank you Xpectation for
No problem.
for the context. Yeah, just want to know a bit how have you been living the game as a player, as a creator as well. How has it been this past
Past
9
few
months?
Yeah,
9
something like
months?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least for me, I mean, the beginning was so hype. I was so excited. Like, Moco is something that I've been looking forward to for a long time, ever since that first time I got to play it, like, at Supercell headquarters. I gave some feedback in, like, 2021 or something like that. And it was I was so excited for it. And so when it finally launched, it was just, like, so exciting. And then I think that a lot of people will probably agree that they kind of, like, oh, 2 weeks is like, yeah, let's go. And then you hit Elite Hunter and it was like, oh. And then you reached Elite Hunter 100 if you got that far. And you're like, there's like nothing for me to do. And I'm getting kind of bored of it. And so I was really excited for Chapter 2 to release, which was also really hype for a little bit. But then there was some XP balancing things that happened that made the release of Chapter 2 feel really like not good in my opinion. And I think that all of us are pretty much on the same page in that term. And the team that we've been speaking to a lot the past couple of days have a very understanding of why that happened. But since then, it's been a little bit of like, if you love it, that's great and it's awesome. But like, for me personally, as a larger Supercell content creator, there's no reason for me to cover it because the viewership's not there, because people aren't playing it, because there's just not a reason to continue playing it. And now, since you released, hey, we're making some big changes because of this feedback that you guys are giving us.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, well, now there's even less of a reason to play it because it's like everything's going to change with the new big update. And so I think all of us are kind of just like sitting here waiting for that to come back or to play it. I reached Elite Hunter 100 in both Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, and I'm just waiting for that to happen. And I'm excited for it. And we have so many different things we're going to be talking about in this podcast. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Even I gotta admit that as soon as I knew about the pivot, the revamp, I kind of also dropped a bit the current version and I started playing. We've been playing a lot of playtesting internally as well, and I've been playing much more the playtest, which is natural, of course.
Yeah.
And I kind of even lost the feeling of playing the old one because now I have this new thing that I want to try and test it out. So that's it. But
I kind of had the same feeling as Kairos. I was so addicted to the game in the beginning. I don't have any content in the beginning few levels because I was just so much playing. I didn't want to make videos because I was like, I want to play the game. And then
I should probably make a video more. I should play Moco.
yeah, true. I really liked the leaderboards. I wanted to be competitive in the leaderboard, so I kept playing the game a lot. Eventually, I made content on it, especially the dojos. And then Chapter 2, it was a lot of things that went wrong. The leaderboards went wrong. The XP bank didn't get reset. The XP was very low to get from monsters. The bosses were too hard to beat as well. There was like so many things, and a lot of people quit due to that. I pushed through because I really wanted to give it a chance, but I felt like it took a bit too long for these things to change. So yeah, but I still play Moco. I think I'm around like Elite 150-ish. But I also took a break for like 2 or 3 weeks when it was announced that everything was gonna get a reset. But I'm still like playing it more casually, and I'm waiting for like the new Moco. It's really exciting to play, so I'm really hyped to get back to that.
Yeah, I think like you are one of the newest additions to the program. Maybe of all of us, you're the more recent, and
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool to have you because you're someone that isn't shy in giving feedback, and you push a lot and give us valuable feedback. So it's amazing.
I strive for the competitive. As a former pro player, I really want this competition to form. I know esports is not in the picture for like the next few months or something, but I really like to grind the game and the compete, and I know there's a lot of other people that like to sweat. That's also why I am always ready to game with my thumb sleeves.
We're not even filming
just in
Moco
case,
content.
I'm just ready, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I think that's super important too because like I see a lot of the vision behind what the team is doing, and we'll talk about the specifics as we go through this. But it seems like the goal of Moco really is to make like a game for everyone.
Yeah.
But if you try and make a game for everyone, you might end up making a game
For no one. Yeah.
And so I think that the hardcore players, it's really important that type of feedback is actually implemented. The question is, I mean, in the best world, you create a game that's great for everybody, including the hardcore players.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I think the feedback on the pro scene, I mean, they're bringing leaderboards back to some levels, and I think they're actually pretty exciting, which we'll probably talk about. But yeah, sorry.
No, that's all right. Kairos and I, in the past, we did a few videos together, and we talked about how the potential for Moco was huge, and that it could eventually be one of the largest mobile games. So I personally still feel that way. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but the potential's there for this to be massive for the casual players all the way to some of the most pro of players. And now, especially seeing some of the changes that we've gotten to test out over the last couple of days, it seems that that's even more the case. Like he said, we'll get more into those specifics as time goes on. But for me, when Moco came out, it was some of my best streaming moments that I've ever had. And I've been doing YouTube for 9 years. It was just so exciting between the community and the hype. It was just so much fun that I would go on and be excited to stream every day.
The death balls.
Yeah, it was the best thing.
Oh, death balls are the best.
Yeah, they're awesome. And, I want those moments to come back. I want it to be where I just want to get in there with the community. And I'm excited to see if these changes that we're experiencing here are going to make that happen again.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Just to also to jump in the hardcore and everything, I always defend that these players are super important for many reasons. Sometimes you might make the mistake of feeling that these players are, because they are a minority, and we also should consider the majority, but this is usually the vocal minority that's going to set the tone for everyone else. And they're also the ones that know the game better and play the game more. So it's like clear that these are the most important players that we should take care of. Of course, for us to make a massive game that is played by everyone, we should attend everyone and not just make a game for the hardcores. But these players should be nourished more than anyone else, because they are the ones that create this ripple effect. If they like the game, they are the ones that gonna influence the others also to. If you are excited and you are super vocal about it, then even other people get contagious by that excitement, and that's why I think these more hardcore players. Are you fine?
I
Everything's
feel
good
like
with you?
it's good. I think they set the meta too. They make the meta, like they shape the best builds, and people look up these builds and oh, thank you for like doing the thinking for me. Some people just want to sit back, relax, and now the build is more thinking, and it's just like, oh, thank you for doing it. I can just jab the build and see what you're doing, and I can try to replicate it. So I think that's why it's so important too.
Of course, Tommo. Can I call you Tommo? I don't know if... Yeah, Tommo. GazTommo, Tommo, yeah. Out of us 5, I mean 4, because I'm not a content creator. I mean, I also only do... Okay, let me...
You make Moco content.
Yes, exactly.
It's
but
great.
You're the only one that does Moco, only Moco right now, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you have like a different perspective from everyone else. Right now, Moco is not a game with a huge player base. So how does that influence you? How do you feel?
Yeah, it's to be honest, even though the player base like isn't massive and it's maybe sort of going a bit more quiet because obviously players are waiting for the new big update, but my channel's doing the best it's ever done. Through all the content I've
Because we
created.
don't stop making videos. Everybody goes to Gaz.
Yeah, I've just been trying to carry on. Obviously, we've got to do it till the first quarter of next year. That's when the update is aiming to get rolled out. Could change, by the way. Well, that's when it's aiming. But yeah, I'm just plodding on, just doing the videos. And I'm still enjoying the game. I think I'm like level 162. I play it every day,
awesome,
doing my daily jobs. Because I know Heisenberg's right behind me. So I can't miss these daily jobs. I can't let them stack up the 10. So yeah, the game does need obviously changes and things, and I'm excited to share with everyone what the team's been working on. But yeah, I'm still playing the game every day, still enjoying it. Yeah, I'm just excited for the future and the update.
Oh, that's super awesome, and I really respect you for like keeping with us and trust us, because basically your success is our success. as we grow, you guys grow as well. I already told these guys, especially Xpectation, lowercase when he was with us, they were like kind of maybe a bit of imposter syndrome
Yeah.
because they might feel they are small and why am I being invited to Helsinki? But if you think about Moco's player base compared to Brawl's player base, and if you compare your numbers to a Brawl content creator, your numbers are huge. And when I announced to the community, we're going to have some content creators in Helsinki, and I asked them, hey, who do you think it is? These names, those are the ones that came up. Maybe also OJ, lowercase is not here because, well, he quit YouTube, but they said lowercase. Some names about HX is... maybe next time. I've been talking a lot with HX and some
Seems
pro
awesome.
players.
Yeah,
He's a super cool guy.
He's also very hardcore.
Yeah. And we've been talking about like doing some tournaments, small tournaments. But yeah, those your names were the ones that came up. So it's very easy to conclude that you're the guys that are driving the Moco community right now. So you are the big guys.
Thank you
right
for
now.
support,
So
by the way, guys. Appreciate it.
Code Kairos, Xpex, Echo, Gaz, joinmoco. No, I don't have a code.
Go Joao.
Joao.co, yeah. By the way, the last podcast, I remember this now. The last podcast, something funny happened.
Like what happened? Like
Which, apparently, we said a lot of times the word like, and when I say we, I say me. There were some people in the community say, why are you saying like so much? And I want to improve my public speaking. So I have this chicken. This is the public speak chicken. It does this noise. So what I'm going to ask you guys to help me improve my public speaking is I'm going to give you this chicken. It's yours. If I say like too much, you can just press the chicken.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Golden chicken.
Yeah. By the way, if you're watching this, and I learned this from you guys, subscribe to our channel, and press the thumbs up button, the like.
That's great. I love it.
All right.
Well, we should talk about the update. And everything because
Yes.
We've been with the developer team for the past couple of days. We have talked so much. They honestly, I'm actually surprised at how much they let us play. Like when classes are going to be released into the game, it sounds like there's only going to be 8 at the start.
Yeah.
We've played like 20 of them. And most of them are not finished. And it's clear that like, okay, the 8 that they've chosen, I think are going to be a really solid start. And so there's lots that they still have to do. But they've pretty much just said, hey, you guys can talk about anything that you've experienced. So we've got lots to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's hit our first stocking points and go for it. Because we're going to tell you everything.
Everything. Actually, now that you mentioned, when I was planning this week, the first day we had like 4-hour playtest, right?
Yeah, it
Something
was
like
a
that.
long one.
Yeah.
And when I was planning, and I thought, is this going to be too long? They're going to get bored of sitting in a meeting room and playing. And then suddenly it was 5:30, which was the hour that we ended.
It's like rush to our bus to go have dinner. And it was like...
And I was like, do we need more time? Do I need to hold these guys in Helsinki for 2 weeks or something? But yeah, it was great. It has been great this week so far. And let's dive into moco.
Cool.
Before diving into classes and all these details and everything, maybe on a general level, how do you feel?
Great. Like it feels more immersive. The old Moco has a problem, even though it has builds. You feel like you have this flexibility of so many options. There's only like a few viable ones. So the weapon doesn't even matter. Like it's just the gadgets and everything around that. And now the weapon, it matters so much. It changes the way you play the game basically, and everyone can have his or her play style. It's amazing. I really love it.
Well, there's weird stuff too, where like we all love squid blades. We love the invisibility, but you can't balance it around because there's some certain abilities that you can't do stuff to, like, it just breaks the game, right?
True.
And so the idea is, like, I'm sure a lot of people would be like, well, we love builds and we love being able to adjust different abilities and stuff like that. Why doesn't the team just balance them instead so that they're all viable? But the problem is with that is that can never happen.
True.
Because if you balance everything to be viable, then there's going to be one specific combo that just breaks the game. and it really actually limits the things that the team can do. And so classes are actually interesting, and honestly, I think it's cool because if you have 10 classes and they all have 4 abilities, including a dash, because a lot of the classes the dashes are different and they do different things. And they almost all have a dash. Some of them are really weird, like singularities, which is like weird. Singularity is a fun, weird, interesting weapon we could talk about. But it's those 10 abilities. Now we have, or those 10 classes, each with 4 abilities. That's 40 different abilities. And before in the game, you know, there was only, like 15 weapons, and there was a variety of gadgets and stuff like that, and passives and rings, and I guess maybe we had more than 40, but like, were there really 40 abilities that you could actually use? No, it was really like 2 or 3 weapons that were good. There were 4 to 5 gadgets that were good. There were really
6 rings.
6 rings that were good. Yeah, it was so limited, and that's actually what we see a lot of the times in Brawl Stars as well, is that there's going to be a very limited selection of things that are good, and so nobody plays the rest of it. And with classes, it's very different because they can try and make every class good, which means that every ability can be good. It's a lot easier to balance. But I think you're asking more like overall, like
the overall. Yeah. Before we go into classes, maybe the overall.
Yeah,
we don't need to go like super deep, just
for sure,
just to get a feeling, maybe.
Yeah, there are things that I think that the team is doing really, really well, and there are also things that I still have really big hesitations with.
Okay.
Like specifically, you're making a PvE game, but there's no power progression.
We're going to talk about it as
and
well.
That's like weird. And my brain like can't wrap my mind, like I can't wrap it around because I've never played a PvE game that doesn't have power progression, because that's such a satisfying aspect of PvE games.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying. So that's like one of the big concerns. I'm no longer concerned about classes and builds. Like classes are just so much better than builds in my opinion after playing them for just a couple of days. But am I going to feel that that like I'm progressing with power and getting stronger? Like, I don't know. That's why I play games like this. I don't know.
Yeah, I was surprisingly opposite to you.
Oh, yeah?
I thought I was going to be like that, and miss the power progression. But I'll be honest, I haven't really noticed it's gone. Playing this iteration of Moco while we've been here, I haven't like thought, I missed the power progression, the power scaling, because I've been enjoying the classes and everything so much. And plus, you've got your player level as well. That obviously levels up to indicate players that you play the game and stuff. But it hasn't been like on my mind that the power progression's gone. I haven't noticed it that much.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact that we've only played it for a couple of days?
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe so.
Because I think that like that's the thing that I just don't know. I think what's going to happen, and I won't know it, we won't know it until the game is actually out and I'm playing every day.
Yeah.
My worry right now is essentially how it works out is every day they're going to be releasing 6 different maps or modes or whatever. 3 of them are going to be your daily worlds.
Yeah.
2 of them are going to be rifts, and then 1 of them is going to be PvP.
Yeah.
And this is all subject to change.
Yeah.
But every 6 hours, you'll have a new mode that you can go in, and that mode will essentially have 3 jobs. And each of those jobs takes anywhere from 3 minutes to maybe 9 or 10 minutes to complete. But after you complete those jobs, you're not going to get any more progression. You go in, you complete your jobs. Completing all of your jobs every day is going to maybe take half an hour. And then afterwards, after that half an hour, you are going to have earned all of the class tokens that can be used to purchase a new class-ish.
More or less, because you're going to have... you can get class tokens from more than one source.
Okay.
One of them is you upgrade your player level, and you're going to have like a general track. As you upgrade your player level, you get more tokens. Also, you're going to have the shard hunt, the pass. The same pass as you progress in that pass. So by getting XP, you're going to have the chance to get class tokens.
Okay, cool.
So you don't get class tokens only through jobs. You can get class tokens through many sources. So even after doing your jobs, you can still play to get more class tokens, to buy more classes. So in a way, even though it's not power progression, if you want to progress by getting more classes, and I don't know if you feel like that, but at least I feel when I'm playing to get more classes, I feel that sense of progression because I'm playing, I get another class. So in a way, let's say, so there's that. Doesn't mean that's enough, and then we can
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Is it fair to say, though, that like the hardcore players are going to grind the pass for the week? They're going to get a high enough player level, and then after a week, it's going to come down to them pretty much just doing those daily jobs?
That might be it. Then it's a matter of thinking if the visual progression it's also enough.
Okay.
Because then there's like a huge grind of each class we're gonna have its mastery.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting to say.
Cool.
Yeah.
We've got the masteries to get through with the rewards on there and things as well.
So we should talk about what that mastery means then, and what that is. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think that that's been really mentioned too much.
Yeah,
publicly.
it isn't. So basically, every time you unlock a weapon, you're gonna have a kind of a track, right? Like a progress track,
Yeah.
where you unlock a lot of stuff. You can unlock pins. You're gonna unlock badges, and these badges are really cool. An example of a badge could be like, I killed X monsters with this weapon, and then that number is always upgrading, and you can put on your player profile.
Oh, cool.
And the idea is that at the end of this track, after a huge grind, you're gonna get a shader for your weapon, and your weapon turns into gold. And of course, all of these things are subject to change, and we can add even more stuff. I remember that you gave this feedback of
Yeah, that was my concern. Like, if they do their dailies and they're out of XP, what are they gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
there are people who want to grind the game for more hours a
Of
day.
course, yeah.
And my idea was, well, you need more layers. You need like a leaderboard. Not everyone wants to collect all the classes. Not everyone wants weapons. Not everyone likes to play all of them. So there's gonna be a few people who like to play a few classes and they really want to master it. So I was thinking, add more layers, make sure the track is long enough.
Yeah.
Even after the golden shader, there can be other things that you can still keep playing. And leaderboards, people like to the grinders. They like leaderboards. So give them leaderboards to be the best or the most mastered player on that specific weapon, so they have something to keep playing and
Of
don't
course.
limit them in too less of a playtime, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Something else we need to think about is we came here and we got to play all 20 of these weapons at one time. We didn't get to experience the progression that a regular player is going to experience. We don't have the next weapon to unlock that we're grinding towards. And although experience and power has been taken out of the game, I think that you have your player account level that's going to be grinded as your growth, as well as the experience on these weapons to unlock the different stages and ultimately the shader and the weapons as well. So although power progression is removed, which has all of these benefits, which we could talk about, we still do have some type of progression that's there to give you the feeling, like, for many people that play this genre or an ARPG type of game that are used to progression, there is progression there. It's just not in the form of power, which brings us the ability to play with anyone at any point in time, and the social element of the game opens up because that power has been removed as well.
Yeah.
true.
Okay, let's dive into the power progression. I had this very organized and you unorganized this, so I'm now no, my very
Too much hype.
organized brain is now exploding, but it's fine, it's perfect. Yeah, let's talk about power progression. So apparently, even in this table, it's not unanimous. Some of you feel that the game should have power progression, others don't. Before discussing, who is okay with no power progression and who thinks that power progression would be better?
So I think that I like that there's no power progression because
Okay.
of the social elements, but there needs to be a progression that's important to players.
Yeah.
I just don't think it should be in the form of power, because that's going to completely segregate new players from players that have been playing for a long
Yeah.
period of time. So you solved a massive problem, but now you need to give that incentive for people to grind the game too.
Yeah.
There's something really magical about, I've played this game for 300 hours and I just made a new friend and I'm like, oh, you should play this game. He's like, oh, what is that? He downloads it for the first time and all of a sudden he's not played for 300 hours and we can immediately play together
Yeah.
because there's no power in the game and he's not going to be at a crazy disadvantage as long as he's not an idiot. He can play well. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be able to immediately play. It removes a lot of these restrictions and also means that the world is going to feel a lot more full. Whereas, like, typically with a lot of MMOs, and I know that whether Moco is an MMO or not is like a whole other debate. But
Yeah.
but typically with a lot of MMOs, the developers spend so much time creating these big, massive worlds that are just completely empty of players because they try and push all the players to the end game as
Yeah.
quickly as possible. And so these worlds, as you're a new player, they just feel so empty. Nobody is there. Whereas if there are essentially 6 worlds or modes that you can play every single day, all the players are going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to feel really alive. It's going to feel a lot more social. There's something really cool about, like, if you go into a dojo, there's no power progression, which means that dojo, you can beat it.
Yeah.
You just might not know how yet. And it's not a matter of, is my gear strong enough, or coming back later when my gear is so strong that I can just like stomp it easily. It's just, it's there. There's a challenge. You can go and do it. Like, there's so many good, awesome things, but there's something also just so satisfying about getting power in a game. And that's something that I really love, especially for a PvE game. Whether or not I want power in a PvP game is a completely other topic. But for PvE, I like that. I like that feeling of like I'm always getting better just because I have shown dedication to the game. But I see the vision. I just don't know if it's going to be enough, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I have only played it for 2 or 3 days, so I'm
That's
not going
true.
to know that. And for me, I just think that we're not going to know until we've played it for a month or 2 or even longer. And the great thing, though, about this is that, maybe I don't want to spend hours and hours every single day grinding Moco for the rest of my life, right? This does add an element of I can log in, play for 30 minutes, get all the progression, and then be done with it if I want to, without falling behind, because I'm not going to fall behind, because my power is still there. I might not unlock classes as fast as everybody else, but the cool thing is that it sounds like you're giving players complete freedom in which classes we unlock. There's no RNG. You get class tokens that you can then use to go and purchase the specific class that you want. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that gives players goals that they can go for, and you're always thinking, oh, what's the next class that I want to go and get? I mean, right? You guys like that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I do.
Yeah.
There's nothing holding you back. Yeah, it's great.
I also love that the power progression is gone, because a lot of times I make videos and then I'm specific level and someone might be a lower level and they're like, yeah, you're just beating it because you're a higher level. And now it's like, well, if you have a skill, you can beat it. And if you see someone with skill do it and you can't do it, it's not because of the power. It's because you need to play more. You need to be more sweaty,
Yeah.
Get
So,
good.
yeah, I really, that's going to drive more competitiveness, and I'm all for it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Expectation just is going to use the word competitive.
Leaderboards,
So competitive
Leaderboard,
is the new
esports.
like. Exactly.
Esports.
Yeah.
Leaderboard.
Yeah. Just to zoom out a bit. Basically, a lot of things are going to change with Neo Moco, but the 3 big things is going away from the chapter system. So basically, the events being hard coded in the game and
And the resets.
yeah. So
No more
yeah,
reset.
that was really needed to go away from chapters to the rotating event. And if you are doubtful about this, think about the game with 10 chapters, with hundreds of maps and everything spread out. So it wouldn't work. We had to move away from that. So I think it was a very needed change. The second one was going from builds to classes. We're going to talk a bit more about classes, but I think it's unanimous that classes are better than the builds.
Classes are significantly better than
Yeah,
builds, in my opinion.
I think that's unanimous, so that's solved. And then there's the power progression, which there is a bit of, let's see how it goes. The good news about this is that we did this change. We had to do this huge change. Now, this is only the starting point. And the team is very open for feedback and to see how it goes. So power progression is not off the table, right? We launched this version. If it's not working, there's always room for power progression or some sort of skill tree or horizontal progression. So it's not off the table. There's pros and cons on doing power progression. Let's see how it works. So the good news is that I'm very relieved that during this week, we never felt that the problem was on the core gameplay. When you have to solve issues on the core gameplay, that's much more problematic. Adding some sort of power progression, I mean, I'm not a developer. I'm not going to say it's like this, but it's much easier to. I mean, I'm sure that we can do from one day to the other. We can add something if it's needed. For now, we're going to put it out there and see how it feels for everyone. But yeah, it's cool to hear that even you guys have different perspectives on this. But yeah, assuming that. I mean, not assuming the next version, at least the version that's going to come out in Q1 2026, very likely, won't have power progression. Is whatever it is replacing power progression, that feeling of progression to visuals or even to unlocking classes, is that enough? Or do you feel that players need more? Do they need more stuff to feel that they are progressing? Or how do you feel about those systems?
I feel the more progress we could add to the game, the better. Mm-hmm. Doing that without power, I think, is beneficial because it maintains the ability for his friend to come join him on day 1 versus his day 300. So,
assume I have friends.
I
I don't make friends in my.
No.
Yeah. I'm in my office alone, hanging out, making videos.
You have a few.
Yeah.
So if we could keep the power out of it, I think it's a huge win. It's just finding the things that players are going to want to grind for. If that's going to be the weapon shader at the end, then that's great. If that's not enough, finding other things that can take that place. But being able to get a new weapon or a new class every 2 weeks is something to grind for. Players are going to want to have the opportunity to have the tokens in their hand to either unlock the one that they've been eyeing for a couple of weeks or that brand new one that's coming out. So I'm going to be curious to see if that's going to be enough of a motivation to grind the game to get those tokens. And again, that's something we couldn't experience because we played with everything unlocked.
Of course, for 3 days.
I mean, it's a free-to-play game as well, isn't it? And it's all about cosmetics in Moco, skins and things. And we've got the rewards on the mastery track. And if them rewards are really good and worthwhile playing for, I think players are going to play and grind it out to unlock these rewards,
Yeah, I think the game needs 2 things, and I think you were very good. You gave very valuable feedback about these 2 things. One is the game gives you visual elements that you feel that you are progressing. So, for example, you're playing the game, and then suddenly you feel that you went to the next level on the mastery track in a class. So, next levels, now you have this cosmetics available for you, either the pin or the badge or anything. Then you have your play profile, which is more complete now. You have the pins and the badges, and then you can. There's some maybe limiting ways for other players to see your profile. Maybe that's something that we need to improve. Your player level, even though it doesn't give you more power, but your player level is still associated with your avatar. So whenever you're playing, player level is going to be there. So that's a way for you to also show to the other players. But I can see a world, or I can agree that maybe we need to bring more flexing elements to the game for players to
show off their achievements.
To show off the achievements and their progress in different ways. Again, that's something that doesn't seem too complicated to solve. It just adds stuff to the game. I think that again, this first version, it's going to be more simple, and then it's just add more stuff and complexity to the game. If you think about Brawl Stars in the beginning, you know this maybe more than anyone on this table, including me. It was just star
powers and gadgets didn't exist in the game when its very first version. I believe there were like 19 brawlers. Like you just had an attack and a super, and that was it.
Yeah.
And now we have a gadget and a star power and gears and hypercharges and all these different abilities for brawlers that do crazy things. Like the complexity has definitely been added into the game in a way that has allowed for a lot more skill expression, to the point now where there's even characters that I'm like, I don't really know how to play alley because like, am I in a bush? It's different than when I'm not in a bush. Like it's confusing, but it's also fun and exciting for players that really like that skill expression, and Moco can easily add that. There's one thing that Echo mentioned that I wanted to emphasize here, and that is he mentioned that the idea or the goal, at least right now, is the team wants to release a new class essentially every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In the previous podcast, you guys had mentioned that you're not sure if you want like players to be able to progress fast enough so that they can have every class unlocked. And this was definitely a piece of feedback that the community was like, whoa, I can't have every class unlocked. What are you doing here? And I definitely think there's going to be a group of people that that are still going to feel like that no matter what, if that's what the team continues to do. But the idea that we would get a new class every 2 weeks, and that the progression is set up in a way so that we could also essentially unlock a class every 2 weeks. Not just that you're releasing them that fast, but that we're also able to kind of keep up to some level. Being able to unlock a class every 2 weeks sounds way fun. And that is a sense of power progression. It might not make each individual class stronger, but the fact that I get to a shiny new weapon or a class that I get to play with every 2 weeks, that sounds way fun to me. And I think that that's cool. That is a level of power progression that I'm excited for. And that makes me feel a lot less worried about having every single class unlocked because, oh, it's just a matter of a week or two of me playing before I get everything, or the specific one that I want. Especially because there's going to be ones that I don't want to play, you know?
That's something we discussed very long, I think.
Yeah.
All of it. And I feel the devs were very open to hearing the feedback and very welcoming. And if there was an idea and they tested it or they had their opinion, they would say it. It was a discussion. It was not like a Stonewall, no. They actually took it and they were so hyped. JJ especially, so bubbly. It's oh my God, I want to make more videos just for JJ to be hyped and stuff. And then, I love the dude, really. He's amazing. But yeah, the dev team they were listening. I felt listened to, and the concerns we were saying, it's they want to try things out, and it was really amazing to see that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience working with different teams at Supercell and sharing a lot of feedback and the way that they receive feedback. The Moco team has been phenomenal at really wanting to hear what we as players are wanting and caring. Mm-hmm. They're so thirsty for feedback. They're tell us everything, because they're so focused on it. And you might think, they do have a very specific vision of what they want to accomplish, and I think they're really challenging the norms of what PvE is possible. Removing power progression is just insane, in any other game. So they're definitely trying things that you wouldn't expect, but they're also just so thirsty for that feedback. And so seriously, continue sharing feedback on Reddit and social media and everywhere. Joao is watching, the developers are watching. If you don't like something, just tell them.
Yeah.
Legitimately. They want to listen. They want to change things. And obviously go into it with an open mind. When this new update happens, honestly, I think that Moco is going to see a big resurgence, and it's going to be really fun and exciting. We're going to have a lot of thoughts. Put it out there. Share your thoughts, because I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. The Brawl team is also really receptive, but people also don't believe me when I say that. But the Moco team is right up there with me and the Brawl team, in terms of their willingness to try and listen to community feedback. And they did say specifically, we're not sure if we know if removing power progression is good for this game yet or not. We think so, but we don't know. So let's find out. Let's try it out. They're so willing to try and add some stuff. But as soon as you start adding power progression, my friend who just downloaded the game can't play with me. True. Mm-hmm. And so it causes all these other problems. And all of a sudden, I don't know if I can beat this dojo or not, because this dojo could be balanced for power that I don't have yet. And so it just adds a lot of problems and takes away some of the magic that they're trying to accomplish. Yeah. And so, let's wait and see. And that's how I'm taking it.
They want Moco to be social, and this really helps to be social. You can do so much. There's so many layers to it now, so I love it.
Yeah. Another two advantages of no power progression is, first, if you drop the game after 6 months and you come back,
you don't fall behind.
It's very easy, right? You just come back to the game and you are at the same level as other players, except you might not have all the classes, but doesn't mean that you can't, jump in.
And you know what's really cool about that? It means that your accomplishments and achievements that you've done in the past actually still matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Whereas I don't know, if I downloaded Clash Royale 6 years ago and I go and install it now, the progression that I had back then doesn't matter, because they've added power levels, they've inflated the economy. I'm going to progress faster now, but I'm not at the max level anymore. You know what I mean? Whereas Moco, you could take a break for however long you want. You're going to come back, and your Sparky weapon, which is one of my favorite ones, and we'll talk about classes later, but your Sparky is going to be just as strong as it was before, and you can get back into it and feel that nostalgia, while also, hey, here's 20 other new classes that you haven't played. There's more to learn and to grow and to gain. And Sparky is going to be balanced to be just as strong as some of these new classes. It might not be as complex as some of the newest weapons and abilities, but you're always going to have that. That's so cool. Sorry for interrupting. It just like got me excited. I'm
No,
like,
no.
Oh
All
my
good.
gosh.
All
My
good.
achievements matter now because it's permanent.
Yeah, all good. But you touch the second point that I was going to say, which is, let's take the example, for example, of Clash of Clans. They announced Town Hall 18. And that's the exciting bit of the update. Town Hall 18. But then you're like, Town Hall 6. Well, that sucks.
You only got to Town Hall 6, Joao? That's embarrassing.
No. I'm just, as an example, probably that's around that. Clash of Clans, it's not a game that I play as much. Doesn't matter.
That's okay.
But,
you play Moco, and that's what counts.
Yeah. My favorite Supercell games, I can say, it's Moco, Clash Royale. I played a lot of Squad Busters back in the days. So yeah, if I had to choose three, those are the three. But yeah, continuing. Town Hall 18 is out. I can play it. I'm just Town Hall 6. We release a new update with a lot of exciting things, classes and everything. You didn't play for the last 6 months. You jump in, you can experience the new content right away. Yeah. I think not a lot of games out there have the chance to do that. A lot of games release their update and players can't experience it because it's not available to them, and that's a huge plus.
Because there's power progression in their games.
Yes,
you can't play the newest cool stuff because you haven't played for the past 4 years.
Yeah, that happens.
Or wallet expression.
What'd you say?
Wallet expression. Wallet.
The more we talk about it, the more it's convincing me just sitting here that like power progression not being here is the right way. There's so many benefits alongside of it. And when you do come out every 2 weeks with a new weapon or a new update, it's relevant to every single person that's playing the game or even someone that's thinking about playing the game from day one.
Yeah.
Where when you think of, I mean, try and think of other games where that's actually the case, where it's going to be that update's relevant to everyone. There are games like that, but power progression being removed really makes that something special.
Yeah, you can't do that in Brawl Stars. If a new character released 2 months ago and you just download it for the first time today, there's no way you can play that character without buying it or playing for the next 2 years to unlock every other character in the game first.
Yeah.
Or you get lucky with RNG. But with Moco, you download it, you can buy the newest class as long as you save the class tokens for it.
Yeah, I keep thinking I want to try Clash Royale, but I don't want to download the game and be like a new account when all the other players have got max level cards and things, so it just puts me off playing. But like we're saying, don't have this problem with Moco.
Yeah.
I did it, but I had to get my wallet up to get the cards, and it was not that cheap.
I mean, it sounds really awesome. But the thing that is being sacrificed is that Clash Royale also has an incredibly satisfying progression experience.
It sure does.
Yeah. It's so fun to upgrade your cards and your levels and stuff like that. And so that's just the thing that I don't know. Will it still be satisfying in that sense? But there's so much to gain from it. Yeah. If the team can make it feel worthwhile and like your time spent on the game is worth it. I want, when I'm done with my daily jobs for that half hour that I played, I want to feel like I want to continue playing rather than being like,
it's done,
I want to continue playing, but it's not really worth it, so I'll just put it away and come back tomorrow. It almost feels like the game is begging me to just put it away. And I don't want that. I want to feel like there's a lot of reasons for me to play. But it's hard though.
Yeah.
Because not everybody wants to grind for hundreds of hours. So
of course,
it's the same with streaming, right? If I want to stream 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, I don't want to feel after 1 hour or 2 hours in the stream, well, I don't really progress. I'm just playing to play, but not really to get anything. And I hope that's not going to be the case. It needs to be long enough of progressing to feel that it's worth it to keep streaming and playing in game.
Yeah,
that day.
That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, you guys are saying a lot of positive things. That's super energizing to hear. I also want to clarify something to the audience, which is these guys are here to give their very honest feedback. We at Supercell, we never like make them say only good things. We don't control their opinion. So if they are saying good things, it's because they feel like it. So we don't make them say good things, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Even when we sign up for creator codes, though, like there's nothing in the document. Most people don't read legal documents. I like to.
Yeah.
There was nowhere in there that said, "Hey, you have to agree with us on anything."
Yeah.
If anything, my relationship grows with Supercell the more that I share feedback and tell them you're not scaring me. I know you're just being silly, right? Yeah. It's yeah, and we have shared a lot of feedback with them.
Yeah.
Like the Monster Slugger specifically. In the game right now, I don't like that class. I think it's stupid.
A bit clunky.
The combo's too weird, but it's also
Yeah.
not finished yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah. By the way, this Monster Slugger, actually, it doesn't work, but this is supposed to be a taser. This actually has electricity. It wasn't charged, and I asked production to charge for me, but I think they said to me that they charged, but I think they didn't.
they didn't want their microphones to
Yeah,
get ruined.
no, they were like, no, this guy is crazy. He's bringing the taser to our sets. No way. Just tell the crazy guy that we charge and it's not working. So it's not working. But yeah, our real life Monster Slugger. I'm gonna
love
put
it.
here next to my public speaking chicken. I'm not saying like much, right?
You've done a
Oh,
good
you're
job.
doing a
Yeah.
very good
Thank
job.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
think I've said like more than you have.
Yeah.
You guys can roast me in the comment section this time.
Okay.
Press that button.
Yeah. So if you want to trade all the merch that you want for the chicken, I can give you that. So you leave your cool Moco stuff here, and I trade you for the chicken if you want.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Okay,
I
awesome.
don't know. Moco merch. I want to keep this mug. I'm going to do it.
That should be gas only. GazTommo.
He won the first Moco World Championship yesterday.
Yes.
In yesterday's video, if you guys missed
Yes.
it.
GazTommo, not Xpectation.
He didn't even make it to the semis.
I don't have any excuses. I just went with a strategy, and no one told me that the Sparky did not stun players in PvP. It stuns in PvE. So I was like, oh, maybe you can burn from each other's burn and like do extra damage. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stun him. And he kept moving, and then I died. I was like, well, this doesn't work out.
And I don't wear these thumb socks either.
Yeah,
I was very sweaty. I was all in, and I was ready to like do it with my mate here, but I'm sorry to let you down.
I thought I was going to be carried by the pro player, but that
Why do you
didn't
think the taser is empty?
happen. The what? Sorry.
The taser. Why do you think it's empty?
Yeah,
I got a beating. I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
I discharged all the battery with in Xpectation, but he's still alive, so that's fine. I think that's a win. Okay, let's talk about classes.
Let's do it.
We talk a little bit about it, but let's dive deeper into it. Maybe 3 days was not enough to test it out everything
It didn't feel like it.
deeper, but
Yeah.
that's good news, I think.
Yeah, I think it's good. Granted, like I said, we got to experience like 20 different classes, whereas when it first launches, there will be 8.
Yes.
Current plan
Yeah.
is for that, which I think is good because it's clear that a lot of the classes still need some work and some development. Like I said, the Monster Slugger has just like this weird combo thing that I just don't get. Which is fine. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to cover all the classes on your videos, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Most likely.
Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
see all of the classes in their work in progress state, they're going to cover it. So make sure you guys definitely check that out because there's a lot. So you can watch all of it. If you're thirsty for class content,
Yeah.
you got it. But I want to hear what you guys' favorites are.
Yeah, something that I think is cool though, out of the 8 that you're planning, and I know this is not set in stone yet, but
Yeah.
some of our favorites are the initial ones dropping inside of the game, which I think is really cool. You're not holding like some of the best for later on, so it's gonna hit with a banger. I'll start with my favorite, which is actually the Vibe Shifter. Which is, what was it called before? The
Staff
Staff
of
of
Good
Good Vibes.
Vibes.
Yeah, Staff
Yeah.
of Good Vibes. Which
That was
which
the worst weapon.
no one really liked.
It's not.
But now it actually has the ability to heal or to attack. It's the only weapon, I believe, that has 2 primary attacks that don't have a cooldown, and it has a damage dealing skill and it has a healing skill. So I think it's actually one of the most versatile inside of the game, and really, if I want to play a support role but still do some damage, the Vibe Shifter is the jam. I've been a huge fan of it, and looking at just how much progress I have on all the weapons, that one has the most for me. So it's a clear winner for me.
I keep changing my mind. I was playing for so much. I like the Squid Blades, and I was playing with the Zapsicle. That's the one you like as well, isn't it? I was playing with that last night, and I was like, this is awesome because of the combos you can do. And that's why I'm liking these classes, because now currently in Moco, you get your build. And just say you're on worlds doing world farming, you more or less sort of walk them back, try to avoid the enemies and then pop your gadgets. But with these classes, the abilities work with each other to do a combo. So you can like dart forward and attack a group of enemies and then press another button to dart away. And it's just so much more immersive. but I've switched my favourite from the squid blades to the Zapsicle after playing with it last night.
I don't have one favorite. I like Sparky and Bloodsucker a lot because it doesn't feel like I'm just button matching. You have to time your abilities. There's a charger. You can charge it to full, but with the Sparky, for example, if it then is full, you're going to stun everyone around you, but also yourself. So sometimes you want to stop attacking. The same with the Bloodsucker. If you're attacking, you lose HP, so sometimes you want to stop and then wait for your ultimate to heal up again. So it's so much more flexibility in these builds, and I feel alive playing something else. Like the old Moco was just, I don't care about the weapon, I just want the gadgets, and the weapon is like extra. And here it's like personalities within the game. I can play a certain way with different classes, so it's really nice to see. And there is so many different, like the star ratings, the how hard, the complexity level. So some are very easy to play. You can just play casual and think like, I don't want to think too much. You take the speed shot bow. But if you really want to have this high skill ceiling weapon like Singularity and stuff, there is an option to do it. So you can. So that's really, really lovely.
Yeah, basically every class has a system of stars. It goes from 1 to 5 stars, which means that it's just about the complexity. If a weapon is super simple, it has 1 star. If it's more complex, it has 5. It's of course it's not mathematical. It's just our perception. So in a way that there's classes for everyone, for more casual players and more hardcore. So we are not like ruling out hardcore players. We want to give something for them. Yeah. It's also super energizing because you said it already in the beginning. You were like, I don't know if classes is the best way to go. At the beginning you prefer builds.
I was so skeptical.
And then you change your mind. Not only you, but I feel the community as well. Because maybe on the KPI that we launched, we announced a change, but we didn't showcase too much of the classes. But as I've been also dropping some small sneak peeks on my Twitter account, X account, whatever it's named now, I think players start to feel, okay, there's something here. This looks fun. So that's really cool and reassuring.
I was skeptical, but in the beginning, the whole skill was knowing the right build, and you were known for like, you know what the build is and you show it to us. Thank you so much. But I noticed, and when I didn't play as much, or you have so many rifts, that I even had to go back to my own video to check the build, and that was annoying. And that's also the reason why the Nightmare rifts in this season chapter I didn't really play as much, because I'm too lazy to go back to even watching my own video, which is not what you want, right?
Of course.
And now it's just, well, you have the weapon, you know what it does, and it's way more forward. So that's really great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I really like the Headbanger. It's this very simple weapon. It's this massive sword hammer thing that you've got, and your character just like jumps up and pounds the ground, and there's some really cool weapons and stuff. Yeah, honestly, I think my feedback for the weapons is that I want... it's funny, I want both more simple weapons with low complexity. They're just really easy to go and just feel satisfying. But I also think that I want more complexity to some of the weapons. There currently in the game, there is 1 1-star. That's really low complexity. And there's 1 5-star, which is high complexity. And for me, I felt like the 5-star, the Singularity specifically, felt a little too random and not quite so much skill expression because of the way that it works. And I gave the team feedback that I was like, I want it to aim in the direction that I'm moving so that it's always going where I want it to be. And that's a simple thing to do. But every single time I said, I want more complexity, they were like, we want to do that too. Let's start with these weapons, and then we can continue and add more complex weapons that have some really cool combos and stuff like that. It was actually really cool. One of my favorite things about a lot of the classes and the weapons is that a lot of them seem to have some sort of like an ultimate. Kind of.
Yeah.
And in order for you to charge this ultimate, you have to do specific things. And sometimes you can kind of like activate like a half level ultimate where it's like, it's not super strong because you didn't charge it all the way, but you want to use it because it's the right time. But then other times, like the Squid Blades, you charge it all the way, and then when you activate that ultimate, you're going around and you're doing tons of damage, and you're healing yourself like crazy, and like you're spinning around crazy fast. Like it's so fun and satisfying to just charge that ultimate all the way and just like unleash. not every weapon does that.
Yeah.
Oh, but the reason why I like Sparky so much, when I keep talking about it, is because it has this thing where I don't know why they call it Sparky, because it's like a fire based.
Yeah.
Like Sparky's like electrical. Maybe it's because that's the ignition, the spark that lights the fire. I don't know. Anyway, but the idea is that you get as many enemies on fire as possible, and then when you tap your ultimate, they all explode, and you just see damage numbers everywhere. It's like so satisfying and fun.
Yeah, I want to believe that you said that your favorite weapons are actually the one that are coming on season 1. I don't know if it's luck, but I also want to believe that those are the ones that were worked on more because they need to be prepared for season 1, and the other ones are more work in progress, so they are still not there yet.
That's definitely how it feels.
Yeah.
The ones that are coming
So-
out first are ready.
Yeah.
And they all feel good. They all feel like they have a purpose.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, like the Monster Slugger, like that needs some work. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not ready yet.
Yeah, and I agree about, just to explain Singularity, it's a weapon where you launch a disc, kind of a boomerang, and then you have your 4 abilities. One is teleport, the second one is just an explosion, area damage, the third one is kind of black hole. It's kind of the Clash Royale tornado, so it pushes the monsters to the center, and the fourth one is a healing area as well. And you really need to time. So when you launch the boomerang, you really need to time when you use one of the abilities. But also the issue right now with the weapon is that you can control where the weapon goes, and makes it
it automatically targets the closest monster.
exactly.
And sometimes the monster will come in, and then you're like attacking behind yourself.
Exactly.
And it's like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Or dashing on top of the monster and like, oh, well, here I am.
yeah. But it's also probably one of the most fun weapons
Yeah.
because you can teleport all over the place. Most of the dashes in the game have some sort of a cooldown, but Singularity has no cooldown with the dash or the teleport. So you throw it and you teleport, and you throw it and you teleport, and you throw it and you teleport. It's so fun. As long as a monster doesn't get in your way.
Yeah.
Can even go invisible if you do some tricks like I did yesterday in the
we-
video.
Make some bugs happen and go invisible, but I don't think that's gonna.
Yeah, that
be
was
shipped.
definitely got changed.
Yeah, Squid Blades 2.0.
Yeah. But I guess all of those classes are going to still have us fine-tuning to be better when we launch. We're still work in progress in many ways, so let's see.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, of
I
course.
like the healing in the tanks. They're not boring. Most people don't want to play healers or tanks because they're like very simple, very boring. But these ones, they have like more life. For example, Technofist is kind of hybrid. It heals. It has these auras, movement speeds, extra attack speeds. So you have like more flexibility to your build. You're not just a healer. You also do other things. If you want to damage, you can damage. It's the same with the tank. You have like this mobility and stuff. So I really think that's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to say things about Technofist as well, but even Toothpick and Shield, now the Lava Shield, it's not just something where you are having kind of a boring time protecting your team. It's actually enjoyable to play now. You have huge survivability, and you have a dash ability, so you have a lot of movement. I had a lot of fun with that one, which I wasn't expecting also.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of them were designed in a good way that makes you calculate risk versus reward. Like some of the abilities, you want to activate it like right when you're about dead. And then you get like fully healed and you do crazy damage for a little bit. But if you do it too late, you die.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's a lot of trade-offs in like how do you play different ways, and a lot of them feel better. It's just so much better than builds were.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, when I first heard you were getting rid of builds, I was like, oh, but I love builds. I love theory crafting and doing these things. But it just feels better. It's just as better.
Awesome. Yeah. If it feels better, it feels better. I also love Lava Shield. Lava Shield has these 3 abilities besides the dash, which is one, if I remember correctly, is the whistle. The other is a shield. And we have a third one, which gives like a 360 damage. You spin 360 and also heals you a bit.
Yep.
A lot.
And
Dash is cool too.
Like full health. It's like a lot of heal.
Oh, it's a lot, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
and I think it's you can also use these 3 abilities almost at the same time, kind of synergic. So basically, you use the whistle to push the monster to yourself. Then you put the shield to protect yourself from damage, and then you use the healing / damage to just like give them damage while you heal yourself. So you can use these 3 at the same time in a very synergic way. I love the wolf stick as well.
Yeah.
It's very different. Basically, the whole kind of goal of this weapon is it's to feed your wolf. I think you shoot 17 times for the wolf to appear, and then you charge the ultimate, which makes the wolf bigger, stronger, reddish.
It's massive.
Rage mode.
It's like, you know, like the hypercharged bugs or whatever that pop up. Like the wolf is up there, like wrestling it down.
And it keeps healing you. So it doesn't work for all the maps, and that's something I think it's very cool with the classes, which some of them work in specific maps, other works in other maps, and the team is gonna work around it, making events that are better for specific classes and other events that are better for other classes. And the wolf stick, it's not very, let's say, it's not a weapon that it doesn't work everywhere, but where it works, it's super OP because you just keep feeding the wolf, and then when the wolf is buffed, it heals you, and it gives a lot of damage, and then you keep charging your ultimate, and the wolf keeps getting buffed again. Yeah. It's amazing.
You touched on one thing with the lava shield, and I think this is really a good element of design. With the builds, it really came down to pretty much as soon as your ability and your gadget is off cooldown, you tap it. Mm-hmm. And it was just a matter of watching your cooldowns and tap, tap, tap. Okay, now I'm good for 10 seconds and tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
Literally just over and over and over again. It felt very repetitive. Whereas with the more that I play a lot of these classes, the more I'm like, oh, I actually want to save this ability for when I do this, or when there's a certain number of mobs that are electrical, or that I've zapped them with, or there's a lot more thought. There are still also some abilities and weapons that are really simple, like the speed shot. Speed shot's so simple, and it's like once the ability is up, you tap, 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 and it's fine, and it's cool, and it's there for the players that want something really simple, and it's very consistent. It always does damage. You have a good heal, so you're always alive. You're not going to do crazy combos, but it's cool. And so it's not a button masher anymore. You can play abilities that or classes that reach that level of complexity that you want. And ideally in a balanced world, the weapons that have more complexity offer for a lot of reward when you express that skill. Like when you get when you pull off the right combo, it's just like boom, numbers are everywhere, and it's really fun and exciting.
Satisfying.
Poison bow.
Yeah, I'm glad that was brought up.
VFX is...
Yeah, when I first played the Poison Bow, it was not on the right map. And then you played Poison Bow on a map with tons of swarms, and everything was dying.
Yeah.
I couldn't even kill anything because he was killing everything. It was great.
Yeah. I think in a nutshell, if you were expecting weapons to be what they were and the game just kind of changed, they're drastically different. From the names of the weapons to what they actually do, and in a positive way. I think we could all agree.
They have personality. If you want to be a shotgun type of guy, you have hornbow. You want to play a lot of movement, squid blades. There's so many different play styles, and I love it so much. I'm so hyped to play.
I don't want to overhype it. I don't want people to think we're thinking that these are the best builds of every game ever, But it's way better than it was in the previous moco, and it allows for the team to expand in ways that does really add some really great flavor to the game. So it's just better. It's just better.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And this feedback, or at least from time to time, I hear someone talking about aiming for moco. Do you feel that with the more agency with the classes, how do you feel about aiming? Do you think it's not needed at all?
That's a good question.
Do you feel that it would add something even more to the game? Or
I like that it's not there. It adds a little bit more of a casual element, but you could still manipulate the game in ways so that you're targeting the things that you want to target. As you learn the classes, you learn what those abilities do and how the weapons perform, and you just put yourself in a position to hit the things that you want to hit. Mm-hmm. So aiming's not there, but you can use your skill to be more precise on what you're attacking.
Yeah, I actually done a video on this about manual aim versus auto aim, and I kind of like the auto aim for PvE. I think it works well there, especially if you're a casual. But still, for me in PvP with the auto aim, that's where I think the problem is. You want a manual because on occasion, especially in the current version of moco, you'll be attacking something or someone, and then a monster will come on your screen, and you aim will auto switch when you want to attack that player. So I don't think it's much of a problem in PvE, but I still think it'll be problematic in PvP, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think the team's kind of focus right now is PvE because, I mean, that's the core
Yeah.
of the game. It's
Yep,
PvE. Maybe PvP didn't get enough love yet because...
Well, I think it'll depend on how much the community wants it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you'll see the play numbers. There's going to be 5 maps every day that are PvE and 1 that's going to be PvP.
Yeah.
And if PvP all of a sudden spikes for some reason, they'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe we should prioritize PvP a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it isn't a PvE game. You don't want this to become a... You don't want Moco to become another Brawl Stars, you know?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, if we suddenly invest more in PvP and add aiming, then the PvE Brawl Stars becomes just Brawl Stars with just different characters and everything.
Which one thing that I do want to say about aiming, and this is how I view it. I love that Moco right now, without manual aim, you can play with a controller. Like if Moco ever someday becomes cross-platform on PC or console, it needs to work with a controller. And even today, Brawl Stars, you can't manually aim with a controller. You can move, but there's no way to work. I've tried so many different things to try and like Jimmy rig it or something like that. It's always a terrible experience.
Yeah.
And so I like the direction that Moco's going. I understand why people want manual aim. I think that there are things that the team can do to add that type of expression. For example, with Singularity, I said, just throw the big portal in the direction that you're moving and you're facing, your character's facing. And that essentially allows for some aim. And that's essentially what you want to do too, because you can be moving one direction, quickly twitch over to the other, attack, and then continue moving that way. And there's actually a lot of abilities in Brawl Stars that allow for that as well, for weapons and abilities that you typically can't aim for gadgets and stuff. So I think there's a lot the team can do to balance weapons in a way that they don't feel the need for aim. I think my biggest issue with not being able to manually aim was actually the Staff of Good Vibes. But that's not a problem anymore because now you can choose to attack and deal damage, or you can choose to heal. And when you attack to deal damage, it targets monsters, and when you aim, when you hit the button to heal, it focuses on your teammates. So it's no longer a problem because of the way that they design the weapons.
Of course.
And so if the team continues to design weapons in the way that celebrates skill expression in a way that doesn't require manual aim, I'm actually all for it. Especially because I can play with the controller.
I still am a fan of the manual aim because I like that extra skill expression. But if you don't get it, okay. But I would still like a system in the settings, for example, where you can choose, I want to target the lowest HP amount monster or lowest HP percentage or closest. Some personalization where you can still choose what it targets, but even though you're not really aiming, it's like automatically targeting that specific thing you want.
That makes sense, yeah. We spoke about PvP. I don't know if we played enough PvP with the new classes.
We did it. We did it in yesterday's video. That was all the PvP we did.
Yeah.
I was
well,
PvP yesterday
Yeah.
because I won.
Yeah, he's retired. He doesn't play PvP anymore. He's first ever Moco world champion.
Yeah.
That's how you're on top.
Yeah, I guess there's not time for everything, but let's say your gut feeling, do you feel that it's going to be better with the classes for PvP or not, or you don't have an opinion yet?
I think we need to play more, but we have the option to play more after we go home as well. So I think more feedback will come out for that as well once we really got to experience the game more.
I think you're going to have, first of all, I think that weapons or classes, call it what you will, are overall around the game going to be better. I think there's going to be weapons that are going to be better for PvP, and there's going to be your small meta of PvP weapons that players are going to use. And that's okay, you know, because they're not all going to be meant for PvP. So let players play with those 5 weapons, and if they want to be competitive.
Yeah.
And
The meta will be really narrow for PvP.
Yeah, I have the feeling that.
But as long as it feels okay, I don't know. I kind of view Moco as focus on PvE first, and cater to the PvP players when you can. That's how I view it. I understand that if you're a PvP player that you really want that.
Yeah.
But also, I've got a great Brawl Stars channel that's full of PvP content. So you can just come play. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but again, going back, if you do a game for everyone, including PvP players, then we do a game for no one. And I also feel that. The meta for PvP is going to be narrow. Some weapons are going to be basically useless for PvP. But maybe there's some ways to also manipulate the mode
yeah.
where some weapons are better for a certain PvP game mode and some others are for another. I don't know.
We want
Yeah.
a little bit of PvP in there.
Of course,
I mean,
of
PvP
course.
is fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
if it's not, even if the game isn't completely balanced for it. But yeah, I really do want the game to feel satisfying for the rest of the game 1st. For me personally, and maybe that's just because I get my satisfaction in PvP in Brawl Stars.
Of course,
and I
yeah.
don't go to Moco for that.
I do also want to address that the new PvP, there's more modes, right? You have actual PvP. The PvP in this game right now is you kill the monsters and you kill a player, you get like 2 thingies that drop. It's nothing. But now you actually have rooms where you can have 1-on-1, 2-on-2, where it's really like just about the PvP stuff, no monster stuff. So
And it won't be bots.
yeah, and I just love it.
Because there's
Like,
one
it's
game
more.
mode and all the PvP players are all going to be
Yeah.
playing that one mode.
That's smart.
So
I was going to say that the meta for PvP might be narrow initially, but over time, and the more classes that get put in the game, obviously we've got the difficulty system with the classes. Some are 1-star, some are 3-star, some are 5-star. The people who grind the game and master the 5-star versus casuals that just play the 1-star weapons, I think that'll give a good diverse balance in PvP over time.
yeah,
Because
agreed.
you'll have these hardcore players that are really good with the singularity.
Yeah.
But then be casuals want to play PvP that just don't know how to play. So then that'll give it a diverse meta, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
think
And
you're right.
yeah, the more weapons, even if it's narrow, it becomes big, even in its own narrowness. So last subject to close the class and to move on to other stuff. Is there something generally within the classes that you didn't like? Not a specific class. We know that some specific classes are not there yet. But in general, is there something that you didn't like or it was all...
I'd like the ability to be able to reorganize my ability
The
slots.
buttons.
Do
be
you know
able
what I mean?
to change your HUD.
So if you're
Ah,
the
okay.
gadgets like 1, you can put it on 3, or like the ultimate you want to have at the bottom, so you can like
'Cause
change your HUD in general, right?
I can't remember what it was, but there was a class I was playing last night, and you needed to activate the ability and then use the others to proc it. But the activation one was like in the middle, and then the ones that you use to proc it were like on either side. Just I'd like to go in order. But that's the only sort of feedback I got yesterday.
Yeah, and there's also some weapons that have a heal on the right button and others that have a heal on the left button. And it was like, I mean, and maybe that's great because of the way that class is made, and I'm sure that they put them there for a reason, but like specific classes, I would like to be able to move things around. I also understand, though, that it's important for readability to be good for across everybody. Like, if somebody's watching my live stream and they see that my HUD is weird, they might be like, wait, why do you get that ability? And he's like, wait, his ability's in a different place. Like, that can be kind of confusing, but it's also fun. I mean, you see that in Brawl Stars where you can move buttons to different locations. You can see what kind of players and which ones are playing Claw style because of where their gadget button is and stuff. I mean, it's fun. That's one aspect that I'd really like to see in classes as well, the customizable HUD. Something else that I want is I don't want every weapon to have the same. You have one main attack, you have a dash, and then you have 3 other abilities. I want there to be a little bit more variety. But as soon as I saw the Vibe Shifter, which is the old Staff of Good Vibes, had 2 main attacks, I was like, oh, they're willing to break the norm here, and that's cool. So as long as the team doesn't let that system of main attack, dash, 3 other abilities, prevent them from doing new and unique things. Like, I would love a class that has like 6 different abilities, and you have to do crazy different combos in specific situations to make it work out. That maybe most players, they look at it and are like, whoa, that's scary. let's not do that. You know.
Yeah.
But for those players that want it, like, I think that's cool. But it allows for it now. And you couldn't do that with the build system.
Technofist, for example, also you have a area damage, you have a single target damage, and then you have the healing and
So flexible.
Even like the portable portal, which is now literally a portable portal, meaning you put down a portal and then you can move it elsewhere and it spawns monsters for you, and it's like there's a lot of different things, and sometimes you're like, oh, let's move the portal over here, and then all of a sudden it dies because there's all these monsters that are attacking it, and you're like, you know. I know, portable portal is funny too because you can only teleport to where the portal is. So sometimes you put it like in a dangerous spot, and then you try and teleport out of a big monster slam and you end up getting hit by it anyway because of poor placement. It's high skill expression. It's just funny.
And there's no range. You don't see it sometimes, so it's
Yeah.
out of the screen. And like, well,
It could
I'm
be
just
way
gonna
out.
go now. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. But I mean, that's also fun too because you could have a monster that has like an AoE wipe that will kill everybody. And the
then
only
you
way you
teleport.
survive it is by teleporting back to spawn. It's like, boom, get out of there. But constantly you have monsters flooding in because it's spawning monsters for you to come and kill stuff. So I don't know. There's fun. You can see we've talked about a lot of the classes. We haven't even covered everything, and there's a lot of different fun abilities and stuff. So it's just better.
Yeah, awesome to hear. Okay, seems like classes are covered already a lot. Let's move to events and game modes. So we talk a lot about classes. I think we covered most of it, or at least the important topics. So I think we can move on to another topic, which is events or game modes. Let's be fair, you didn't try a lot of, especially this rotating system, so we're moving to the rotating system and you didn't have the chance or the feeling of it. For context, we put kind of a week of content inside the game. It's not the same as whenever the game goes live. Just also to add context, so we're going to move from chapters to seasons. That's already established. One good thing about this system is that maybe it's a bit more internal thing, but it's with this new system, the events are not hard-coded into the game, so we can make changes anytime. We can, react to player feedback. I want to get to a point, not in the near future, but to a point where we can even do those changes live. And I don't know, live streaming with players. And hey, do you want a tornado? Let's put the tornado there.
Sounds exciting.
I don't know if that's going to be possible, but that would be cool. On the other hand, and I remember seeing this feedback here and there that you lose this feeling of immersion of, jumping from worlds to worlds. I don't know, but let's discuss all of these things. How did you feel about the game modes? Because there's some new stuff that you saw, like the chickens and the prison break and all of that. The rifts were a bit more, let's say, traditional, I'd say. But let's discuss all of these things.
Yeah, I could start talking about the worlds. I think just generally they were a lot of fun. I felt like they were. You didn't feel like you were alone in the world. You didn't feel like you were being overwhelmed by monsters where you just were getting stunned and dying. It was a good balance, and there was a lot of difference between them. If you go to the prison, you have little mini objectives to do inside of the prison to free prisoners or free, the dog that was even locked up in the prison. So they were fun. They were not overwhelming feeling, and because of there being no power progression, you could experience all of them, and there's a lot of replayability with them as well.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. This was a concern of mine because I like playing MMOs, which are massive, and like that's in the name, and it's really cool. Earlier I mentioned, it's a little weird because early worlds are feeling really empty in a lot of MMOs because, all of the game tries to get you to the end game where the most interesting content is. But along the way, you do get to experience massive worlds and a huge variety of monsters and a lot of different cities and mountainscapes and all these things. And with the new system, it's going to feel very different because not everybody's going to start the same place. Literally, one person who starts on one day, their first event could be the chicken run. And
That's true.
in the chicken run, if you don't have a mount, you're at a big disadvantage because you can't chase chickens. Literally, the whole goal is for you to chase chickens, and being fast is important, and it's hard, as we played it competitively yesterday, which is funny because it's a silly game mode. Whereas another person could be in a world that is full of just portals, and they think the game is all about portals spawning in and killing all these monsters and stuff. So it's going to be a very different experience, and every person's going to have something new. And what I was mostly worried about with the moving on from a chapter system where you get to experience all this content that's been pre-made to this is losing that experience of feeling like I'm in a world that I can always go back to and having nostalgia with different environments and stuff like that. And that's not going to really be the case anymore. I feel like it's not. And I think that that's okay. It's what it is. But I think that there's a lot that you can gain from it. My understanding, based off of the conversations that I've had with you and the developers, is that from this point on, pretty much you're never going to experience the exact same piece of content ever again.
Yeah.
Because, you might see a similar map reappear, but this time there might be different monsters there that completely change it. Or sometimes, you're going, sometimes you randomly have a map that's literally we chase down chickens and try and kill the chickens, and everybody's just running around like crazy, trying to dash and like doing weird and crazy things. There's a lot of cool things that you can do. And so I think it's going to be more interesting, but it also does another thing that I was worried about with this is the experience of fear of missing out. Like, what if there's this really cool event that happens and 24 hours later it gets replaced by something else and I never get to experience it. I think the good side of that is that the team can say, that was a really fun event. People seem to really like it.
Yeah.
We can do something like that again similarly, maybe this time on a different map or with different monsters and stuff.
Yeah.
I also liked the variety that not all the maps were the same. In the previous Moco, the world maps were roughly the same size of map. And there were differences and they were really beautiful, the different environments and stuff like that. I really liked that. But with this new system, you can literally have like a small mini map that has monsters really condensed, and you can do a lot of different things with that. So it's a lot more variety, and the fact that you have something new every single day to play, that is way more exciting than an MMO where you literally go to the same locations at endgame and you're grinding the same stuff every day and you have your same farming routes that you hit all the time. It's just a way more fresh an experience to have something new every day.
That's what I like the most. On the minimap, there are so many more things going on, so there's way more stuff to do. And the issue with the old worlds was sometimes you need this daily mission to find a boss, but you never find it, and there's not enough people to kill other bosses to make it spawn. And that issue was not in the new world, so you can just play and you will find the monsters and stuff, and it's just engaging. It's not like, I have to walk around 10 minutes to even find the boss, and then I try to kill the boss, but I can't do it alone, and there's no one else. And I didn't have that feeling at all in this new build, so that's what was special in the new one for me.
Yeah, it's a nice variety. Even that rift we played yesterday was a 10-man rift.
Yeah,
10-man rift.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist right now.
It's an awesome change. That'll be so fun, like in your community, trying to get a team together, doing a 10-man rift. It's so cool. Just things like that. Like, that's different, but it just feels awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And that's the special thing about this, because the events are not hard-coded into the game. We can just be super creative about it. And if it's a miss, it's not going to be in the game anymore, compared to the chapter system where the events are hard-coded into the game. So we need to be very conservative, because it's going to live
to be good
forever in the game. And now we can just go crazy and do these chickens and tornadoes and lightnings and whatever we want to do. And I'm sure that the team is going to do more and more crazy stuff that we can add. I don't know, the giant chickens that we saw.
The giant feet coming
the
down.
giant feet.
And, like, you have to run away from it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to make it, but that's something that we can do easily. Probably it's just a setting that we change. Suddenly the chickens are gigantic, and then players can experience it. And if it's a miss, tomorrow it's another day, and that's gone.
Yeah.
Also, like a lot of smaller hype moments, like you now have these friendlies that can be overhyped or mega hyped, and there's also smaller mega charged monsters. It's not as good as like a mega, but it was still feeling like, this is different. It's not just killing the same monsters, it's like something extra special, and I really like that as well.
All right. Yeah.
I just say one more thing here, and I will say that the team has had a lot to do. There's so many different changes. You're completely reworking a lot of stuff. My experience yesterday or the past couple of days has been that we're probably not going to see that many new monsters.
No,
it's probably going to be very, like, when we got chapter 2, we got a whole new world. We got a whole bunch of different monsters and stuff like that. Don't expect major differences in terms of the bosses and stuff like that, because there's so many other big changes that will happen. I still think it's going to feel really fresh and exciting because of the classes. The way that we handle these monsters is going to be different, but we're going to need to give the team a little bit longer to create new challenges, I think.
Yeah, I can speak about that, because our focus was to rework the game. We drove the focus away from creating new worlds and new monsters. We are doing that still. But
will we see some of that in the next update, or is that going to be later?
I think it's going to be later.
That's totally okay, as long as we know.
Yeah, I think in the first 3 seasons. So basically, we're going to have
Yeah, how long are the seasons? We didn't even ask that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be monthly seasons.
Okay.
Every season is a month, and seasons are marked by a pass, kind of a shard hunt pass. I don't know if it's gonna be called like that, but it's gonna be every season. There's a shard hunt pass with class tokens, with the cosmetics, and then next season there's a new pass.
And to be clear, the class tokens are not on the paid side, right?
No,
no power progression.
No,
monetized. You're still sticking with the monetization for just strictly cosmetics, correct?
Yeah, strictly
Cool.
cosmetics.
Love that.
Which is amazing.
And you can do that because there's no power progression.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But also that brings up another point. People won't be able to just straight up buy a new class, correct?
No.
Cool.
No.
So that also means that if you see somebody that has a class, they earned it.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Basically, yeah. You can't buy classes. You have to earn for it. I kind of lost my train of thought. What else?
We were talking about season passes and how long they last
Yeah.
for.
So each season is a month, and then we're gonna have probably quarterly updates. So every 3 seasons there's a big update, which might bring new monsters, new new worlds, and everything. Of course, new classes. It's every season, but then every quarterly update, besides new features, it's gonna be new monsters, new worlds, and everything. But I also felt during this chapter phase, I also felt that players wanted just to live new experiences, and that's not necessarily new monsters or new worlds. Of course, when we introduce new monsters and new worlds, of course we are adding, not only visually it's fresh and new, but also new monsters might bring new mechanics and new challenges, ways of playing.
Which is
But
something that I want more in Moco. Like, honestly, my feedback is like, I want harder bosses, you know, and I don't mean harder bosses by like, oh, let's just buff their HP and increase their damage. Like, I want bosses that are mechanically more difficult and more challenging and offer a lot more difference than they're going to slam here and then they're going to slam here. And there are some bosses in the game that are cool like that. But I understand that we got to get the good foundation first before you can do that. And I am very happy to wait for that since you're investing so much time in making the classes so much better.
In a way, they did it because if you see the rifts, they have 3 difficulties, and the second tier had a different boss than the first tier.
That's true.
And they also aim for the first tier to be very simple. You can play with anyone, I thought. And then the second tier, it was a bit more difficult. And then the third tier, they really want you, like, you have to play in a group and you really have to try hard. So I really like that it's like, even though we don't have power progression, it's going to be taking more mechanical skill to actually feel like, oh, I beat this nightmare. I can be proud because I'm only a select few people that can do it.
Yeah.
So.
And on those nightmare rifts, there will be leaderboards.
Yeah.
So the goal will be to get the best team together to try and get the lowest time, because everybody can see, oh, Kairos beat Xpectation on the leaderboard.
And then we need the rewards, like meaningful rewards on these leaderboards, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, which that's not something
I wanna
that is
flex
coming
it.
yet. My understanding, right? You don't have rewards for leaderboards yet, right?
Not yet,
Cool.
no. But again,
Work
a lot
in
of
progress.
problems that are being pointed out are stuff that easy to fix.
Yeah.
For example, if classes are very hard to get and players want to get more classes or make it easier to get more classes, it's just a setting, you know, that we can change if needed. So as long as it's not super, I don't know, gameplay core, that needs changing. And we did that with classes maybe in a way.
Yeah.
But most of the problems that we're talking about, many of them are very easy to fix if needed. So so that's very energizing, of course. But you guys are being very positive, which is amazing. I love it. I hope it's not the Monster Slugger effect.
I told you,
So-
you're not scaring me with that.
So I'm gonna be the one to bring a bit of questioning and negativity, not negativity, but question here
For sure.
about the rotating kind of modes, which is now it's going to be rotating, which means that some content is going to be there. It can be from 1 day to a week or 2. That's something that we can also control. But a lot of content is going to be 1 day. I don't know how we're going to do, for example, with rifts. I don't know yet. Of course, the team also said that if we put love in a content, we don't want to have there for a day. It's almost like of a artistic
For sure.
kind of a wish of, okay, I did this, I'm proud of this, I want to have it more time. So I don't know how Rifts are going to do in terms of how long they are staying in the game. Anyways, and that's something that can be adjusted. Anyways, maybe especially for you, you are the competitive guy. Oh, that was very shy. The competitive leaderboard, esports. Yeah. So you are the competitive guy, and right now you have rifts forever in the game, which means that the sweaty guys can play more time, develop, make competitions around it. But now we're gonna have rifts that may live only 24 hours or even a week in the game. Do you think that's going to affect the more competitive side and the esports side of things?
I think so, because a lot of the top leaderboard players that play the Rift over and over, then min-max, they might change their build a little bit to find something new. So I think 1 day for Rift is not enough. It needs to be at least 3, 5, or 7 days. So maybe you can start with 2 Rifts, and then the next day there will be added. So maybe that you have like 5 or 6 Rifts eventually, and they keep rotating. So I really think the Rifts should be longer, because you really want to play with your team, right? To get the nightmare. And one thing is beating it, but the other thing is the leaderboards. You want to be behind the leaderboards, and you want people to see that you're on the leaderboards. If it's just 1 day, I didn't log in. Echo was rank 1, for example. I didn't log in Moco. I don't even know if it was rank 1, and that's an issue. You know, you want people to really be able to flex, like, oh, I'm rank 1, and and people can compete with it. You know, so I think that's something to address.
Yeah, makes sense. But let's imagine that rifts are going to stay, let's say, a week, and you're going to have maybe 2, 3 rifts at the same time. Is that enough for the competitive side of things, having only 3 rifts at the same time? Or it's more important to have, as it is right now, you have like a bunch of rifts. I don't even know how many.
I think now it's a bit too many.
Too many.
I think ideally maybe 4 or 5 rifts.
Okay.
And in my opinion, the leaderboard should be not just leaderboards for a week and it disappears. You could do these leaderboards on top with like a seasonal leaderboard. I got rank 1, I get this amount of points for that rift, then another rift, you add them all up, and then you have like a seasonal leaderboard of who was actually the best the rift player.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
And then give great rewards for that, and flexing like, oh, I was rank 1 in that season, I was the best rift player or the best team. I think something like that would really be awesome.
Yeah, if you got points for every placement that you got throughout the whole season. You know, I mean, that sounds really cool, because then it's like, not only am I just the best at this one rift and I got lucky on this one rift, like it actually shows I'm really good at all of the rifts and breaking all of the strategies. And me and my team, we're like the best overall. It actually shows more skill reflection.
But then it's important to have the rift 5 or 7 days. So if you miss a day, you don't miss out on the leaderboards. It needs to be a bit more time, so people that don't have as much time can still try to be on that leaderboard. It gives the content creators also time to make a video like, this is how I got rank 1 or top leaderboard, and people can try to get it too.
That makes sense. And also to clarify, I said we're going to have maybe 2, 3 rifts at the same time, but might be rift sets. So right now we have rift sets. Every rift set has 3 rifts. So we might have like 6 or 7. I said like 6 or 7.
This is the first time.
We might have 6 or even 9, who knows, rifts at the same time. Right now, what we're thinking is each rift set has one that's going to be relatively easy for anyone to beat, even with randoms you can beat. Then it's going to be the second difficulty, which is going to be a bit more challenging. Maybe you want to bring in some friends and play together to make it easier, but you might need that. And then the third one is going to be the sweaty one, the nightmare one, which you really need to like talk with your friends and see which classes are the best ones to play. And not everyone is going to be able to beat the last one. It's just going to be the expectations out there.
The HXs and who else? HET. Like there are so many good players. Kanaki. There's just a few names. Turtle. There's so many people that are still playing the game, even though they're like, I'm kind of bored of the world. They just keep playing the Rift over and over and over in the dojos, and it's amazing to see it. And they find crazy cheese strategies that I would have never thought of. So there's a lot of like top players that are just sweaty, and then they just think about all these things. It's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking about open worlds, how do you guys feel about it? Do you feel it's engaging? Do you feel it needs some addressing?
That's a good question. For me, I just want there to be a place for everybody, every kind of player. And for open worlds, I view them as like, they're not particularly like exciting and engaging for me. I just go in there and I complete my quests and that's it. But it's also really nice for people that just want to go in there and just chill and just kill some monsters and grind some XP. They're really fun if you get a big death ball going. And the fact that all players are all going to be playing the same maps means that that's going to happen a lot more frequently. And I think that will actually become a lot more fun and will feel a lot more social. But there's not particularly like a big challenge. I would love like world bosses or that pop up that are just like massive. That you literally have to have everybody there, and on the mini map it's like pinging, like get over here, we need your help. You know, Jackson Luna are like pinging your cell phone, like, we need your help on this world boss, everybody come. And then it explodes with massive amounts of XP, and you're just like, like that's what I want. And we kind of get that with mega charge bosses. That, you know, like if you get like some of the mega charge bosses just explode just tons of stuff. But I want it to be bigger. I want it to be better, and I want it to be more exciting. It's hard though too, because as soon as you start doing that, you start trivializing the rest of the game though, because if you have tons of XP in one location, why would you go and spend your time playing PvP where you're not getting XP at all, or barely at all, or these rifts that require a lot of skill? Like, it kind of trivializes everywhere else. So I don't know, but I want it to be bigger. I want it to be better. I want it to be more fun.
Of course, yeah. Something that's going to be amazing with this new system, because everything is at the same level, worlds and rifts and all of that, we're going to be able to understand more what are players playing. If they're playing more worlds, if they are playing more rifts, and we can even switch, and 1 week we do more rifts, maybe another week we do more worlds, maybe we can even, I don't know, but change things up and see what players are playing and how they are playing, and it's going to be a huge learning experience. It might be that the first 2 seasons, so the first 2 seasons for us is going to be a lot of learning, you know, and then the third season we might apply more this long-term learnings to make a third season based on how players play the first 2 seasons. It's going to be interesting. How did we approach this? We put a lot of content. It's going to be a lot of content. So I think I don't even know if it's every 6 hours or every 4 hours in your event.
Yeah, every 4 hours.
But it's going to be like 100 and something events per season. I think it's something like that. It's going to be crazy. So you just need to play once per day. So every 24 hours you have the chance to play all the content, but then every 4 hours there's something new
So
in the game.
to specify, it's not every 4 hours that everything changes.
No.
It's like 4 hours, and then the other one is like 8, 12, 16, and so on. So there's always like every 4 hours one thing rotates out, and then a new one rotates out.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
But so you don't have to be waking up, putting alarms at night, like,
no,
every 4 hours. So just to address that.
Yeah, we did it in a way where everyone, wherever you are, Japan, Portugal, Portugal, US, whatever's the time zone. Whatever's the time zone. Belgium.
Chocolates.
UK. Whatever's the time zone, you can play everything, except maybe when the game starts. Because we need to make adjustments. I think the first event you only play for a shorter time. I'm not sure.
So you have to play within for you hardcore sweats, you have to log in within the first 4 hours of the event.
I think
something
so.
like that.
I think so, but I'm not sure.
Sense.
Just to kick things off,
But I also don't want to give the impression of like you have to play every day, because we're not doing power progression here. So if you want to unlock as many classes as possible, and you want to unlock as many cosmetics as possible, playing every day, obviously, that's what you're going to want to do. But if you miss a day or two, like that's the great thing about this is you can come back and all of your achievements are going to be there for you, and you're going to be able to continue to play the classes that you want.
Yeah.
By all means, touch grass, guys. Important too.
That's right.
Yeah. Says the guy who's asking
So I
us.
can get rank 1 for free.
Yeah. Says the guy who says, "Give us something to do for 8 hours straight."
Yes.
You know what you're talking about.
But yeah, also to clarify how things gonna work. Basically, we're gonna start the game with the speed shot. Am I saying correct? Speed shot.
speed shot.
And then the first class is gonna be very very easy to get. So you get the first class tokens to buy a weapon. I think it's 1 hour of not even
less.
1 hour.
It was
Level
quick.
2 or level
It was
3 or
minutes.
something.
Yeah. It's
To get our
very
second
easy.
class.
And then even the second and the third one are still gonna be easy. And then like it's kind of a
Yeah, getting
It'll
longer.
gets
It
progressively
kind of
tough.
plateaus off.
Yeah, exactly. It gets progressively tougher and tougher, but the first 3, 4, 5 are going to be relatively easy.
And then it's about 1 week or 2 weeks to like get a new one, like more at the end.
Yeah, more or less, but
Yeah.
it's not yet still
still like
defined.
work in progress.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
probably going to change. And again, this is something that we can control very easily.
Yeah.
We can make class tokens more or less available. Maybe we can do some community stuff that we can also find different ways to give class tokens. Who knows? Maybe a creator event where there's exclusive class tokens where players can get. It's going to be a very valuable currency for us to do all of this fun stuff. Maybe with you guys as well. Who knows? Community events as well. We already have one prepared for season 1. Very exciting one. So yeah, we have all the flexibility. All right, I think we talked also a lot about events and game modes. Maybe move on to the social aspect of the game. So the goal here is to make the game more social through very different tools, including the power progression. We also have now this social hub. So we're going to part ways with the apartment. Doesn't mean that we're going to leave the apartment
You're
forever.
getting kicked out of your apartment, people.
Yes.
Rent was due and you did not play enough to pay it.
But yeah, basically, now it's not going to be the apartment anymore. We're not forever parting ways. Maybe there's something for the apartment in the future. But right now, we are now moving to the cool zone, which was reworked. How did you like the new cool zone?
Yeah, so let me describe it really fast
Yes.
to you guys. In fact, if we want to grab some footage and show it, it's actually pretty funny. Instead of your apartment, imagine your apartment, you have your wardrobe and you have the portal and you have your other stuff. Those things are still there, but instead of being in a small, tiny apartment, it's this wide open space where all of these other players are hanging out and running around and emoting and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a side to the left where you can go and you play football or soccer with other people. There's chickens running around that you can chase. There's also where it used to be the cool zone where you have like the dummies that you can attack and check out DPS and stuff like that. That's going to be down to the bottom. You can still go to a cool zone by going to your weapons and hitting try, and that allows you to then go and like look at DPS numbers and healing numbers and stuff like that. So that is still there, and that seems to be a private space. It may actually end up being public. Maybe that's because I was only testing it when you guys weren't testing it.
Maybe.
But it's a lot more open. It's a lot more social. There's gonna be players everywhere, and you can do a lot of different things like that. I'm gonna miss the solitary confinement of my apartment because I'm an introvert, and but I think this is overall more fun. And I don't know. I always wanted to be able to like decorate my apartment based off of my achievements in the game.
Yeah.
And if there would be some way to do that, I feel like that would be really cool. But I don't know. It's going to be kind of fun to see players.
I think a cool way would be through your profile. Click on the profile. You have this little apartment thing with your achievements, like posters or badges or trophies that you can like show off to people. And this is my apartment. It's not in the build right now, but it's something they could look into to implement.
Now, if you make a lobby and like a room lobby, and you're coming, are the people in the lobby also going to be in that same area? Is there a way to force them to be with you so you can hang out together?
That's a good question. I don't know how to answer that, but I think we talked about it as a team. I'm not sure. Okay,
because that would be cool.
For example, it would be super cool that you guys have your own cool zone where you can hang out with your followers.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if the cool zone naturally brings your group chat members all into like the same area, so you're actively seeing each other, like trying on different outfits and swapping around weapons and stuff like that. Like I could see it being really cool. Yeah. It's cool. It's not like it's definitely not like a main attraction to go and play Moco.
Yeah.
But it's a fun nod to the social aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, Moco is a social game. We want to be in the open worlds playing together. We want to be running the rifts together. So I like being out of the apartment. I like that when you log in, you can see what people you may know are actually in that space with you as well. It just gives the feel of a more open world style game, which is really what Moco is.
I mean, it's kind of similar to like an MMO where you go to the main city and you're able to see so-and-so's like, got this glowing aura and they're like crazy powerful and you're just like, oh, he's so cool. Like, it's going to be kind of similar where you'll be able to see people in their cool outfits and stuff, just hanging out. And maybe they're AFK, maybe they're not. It doesn't matter, you know. It's just like it's just fun.
Like yesterday, we were just playing football. Just for
That's cool.
It was way more fun than it should have been.
But like, it's a good place to potentially do that with strangers and make friends, more friends in the game as well. And there's more potential to add things to this cool zone the way it is. Like we've just got the football pitch now, but who knows what's like in store for it down the line. You know, we could expand it and things.
I also want to address about the lobbies. So the old lobbies, a lot of people like it more. We too, because we could deadball with the lobby. The devs have addressed that there is like a lobby to 30 people again. I proposed maybe a hybrid where we can still lock 4 and then invite people from the lobby in if we wanted it at that. So we still have to test it. So we're going to test it later today. So I hope it goes through. But they're working on this system as well, which is really, really cool.
I still think the game is going to need a lot more social features. Like if I'm out and I'm playing with some random in some open world and we're just like hanging out and then I leave the open world, there's no way for me to friend that random person. You know, like if we do something crazy cool or some sort of funny accomplishment or something like that, or we're just spinning together in a circle, there's no way for me to friend that person. I leave and they're gone forever. You know what I mean? I think that the game needs to do more to allow you to somehow become friends, whether that's like you hit an emote that's like a handshake and then they hit the emote that's a handshake and all of a sudden there's hearts that pop up of your head and you're friends now or something like that. I don't know what needs to happen, but the hub is a nice little start of that. Yeah, it's a little addition.
All right. How do you guys feel? Like, what does the game still need to be more social? And do you feel that it's already improved in terms of that? And mostly what you need there?
Well, all we've done is play with each other.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's hard to say.
That's true, yeah.
I think having a very clear, strong lobby system so that you can, if we're thinking about us as content creators and streaming, be able to pull in the people and play with the people that are supporting the stream, having a system that's very clear and not wonky and not laggy, I think is going to be strong.
And also the communities now that we have are way bigger than 1,000 people. So it is way easier now to find people. And especially if we have a new lobby system where we can bring them in there too, I think it's going to be way more social than it is now.
Yeah, I would love it. And this is, your server guy is going to shake his head when I say this, but I would love it if the game naturally, because now there's only going to be 6 places that you can essentially go and matchmake, right? I would love it if the game naturally tried to put you with people that are in your communities, right? There's so many different communities. If the server was like, oh, Kairos is here and this other person's in this community, let's put them in the same world to get together because they're both playing it at the same time. I wish there was more of that. I also wish, as a content creator, I have my Code Kairos community. And I would love it if whenever I'm online and I'm in a world, everybody can just automatically come and join me. Like they go to the channel, they see that I'm online and it's like, oh, do you want to join Kairos? And it's like, you hit the yes button and boom. All of a sudden, my community is all together. Now, I'm a very specific type of player.
Of course.
I don't know that that would be interesting for everybody, but I imagine that you guys have content creators and people that you want to follow that the game, if it naturally tried to put you with them, it would be a lot more fun. I would also like sometimes for me to be able to turn my my status from online to offline if I ever wanted to do something specific. But I think that would be great. I love the aspect of Moco where you are playing together and you're farming as a death ball. I think that's such a fun element. And if there were more ways that the game naturally tried to put people together that way, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and even if you talk about the future that's only for content creators, I think it's very valid because at the end of the day, you expose the game to so many people. It's very hard to make a game just to think about content creators. That's very hard. But then when you have a game and you make it better for content creators, I think that's a way to go. Again, it might be a minority, but it's a very, very valid and important minority.
We're the loud minority.
Yes, yeah. So I don't see why we shouldn't invest some time in features that maybe serves only you guys. But if it serves only you, it serves all your followers, which are millions of players. So it makes total sense.
It makes it easier to connect with your audience as well.
Yeah. And actually, this is a
I
good.
mean, you could have a community, you know what I mean? Where it's like play with the devs kind of a thing. You
That's
log in
true.
and like,
Yeah.
like there's so many different cool things that not just content creators could do, you know? Like that sounds fun.
Community dev ball.
I want to go. I want to play with Joao. You know, when Joao's playing, I want to get on and like go and hang out with him, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Not with you because you weren't able to carry me. I'm still. I'm
To be
still
honest,
bitter about
I
it.
normally do my research about the weapons, but I didn't get to do much research. But once I have more
Yeah.
time, we'll circle back to it. Okay?
Yeah. I don't think the double Sparky worked.
No.
But
I
yeah.
don't know. I think we just had a really good combo.
Yeah, we did.
We
strategized well.
We did. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling that GazTommo secretly went to play all night thinking about the video. I'm gonna beat all these guys, and that was it. Yeah, but this is a good bridge for my the next topic, which is how do you see the game specifically, or the new version, new moco, specifically as a content creator? For example, you gave a lot of feedback about. Now I'm not going to be able to do these videos about builds and how to beat dojos and everything because most of the content is temporary. But I guess there's some new stuff coming that might be valuable for you guys. So yeah, specifically as a content creator, how do you see this new moco?
I think that every 2 weeks getting a new class or a new weapon is going to be huge for all content creators. You're going to see everyone that's interested in the game hopping on and talking about this new class, how to use it, where it's going to be used, and where it's going to be best. And also with all of the mini updates that come on a regular basis, it could be very quick content for creators that are looking to just really be up to date with what's coming or what just landed, and this is what you should be doing there. But builds, things like that are going to be wiped, you know, like being able to be creative with that. So it's going to be different. It's also going to be great for streamers because content's continuously refreshing inside of the game. There's always something new.
All right.
I also like the dojos. They're now in the mastery, like in the track for a certain class.
I'm not sure yet that's
Oh,
going to
okay.
happen, but we'll see.
But I will say, like,
Yeah.
it's more evergreen.
Yeah.
Because before we had all these gadgets changing and stuff, and now it's okay. There might still be small changes, but I know
Yeah.
if I make this dojo, it's everyone has the same power level. It's gonna stay like relevant for like a long time.
Yeah. I mean, there might be less evergreen content than before because everything is changing, especially the events. But yeah. And you mentioned streaming. I think we talked about the game being more streamable with this new version. I read a lot about, for example, Twitch is kind of going down a bit. How do you see streaming and the future of streaming? This is not about moco, but I'm curious to hear. Is streaming still a valid option, especially for mobile? For example, Twitch is not big on mobile. Maybe YouTube is more. But do you even see yourselves going more towards streaming for moco, or how do you feel personally?
That's a good question. Streaming is still very much a big thing. Twitch might be seeing a decrease, but I think that has a lot to do with other competitors being growing. YouTube streaming on YouTube is bigger than it ever has been. They continue to add cool features. I think that there's just like a good die-hard audience that loves Twitch specifically, and they do that. And Twitch is great and fantastic too, but yeah, in terms of moco, it's interesting because I just want the game to have something to give me more than a half an hour.
Of course.
Right now, if I think about streaming moco, I log in, I go and I do all of my dailies. We do some rifts, we do some dojo, or some maybe even some PvP, complete my quests, and then half an hour afterwards, I'm like pretty much done for the day. And there's not a big payoff. Like for streaming, I'm looking for like a big hype moment. Right? I don't know about you guys, but if I'm streaming, it's usually off to the side while I'm like working on something else. I'm like kind of paying attention. Not every moment has to be super crazy exciting, but when something really big and exciting happens, I got to be there. I got to see it. You know, it's like, oh, he starts yelling. I'm like, oh, what's going on over here? Let's go take a look at it, you know? And for me right now, moco doesn't have that. I'm thinking of like other MMOs where you have like the big legendary drops where it's like you've been grinding this monster over and over and over again, and then you get the drop and it's like, yeah, this is so cool. I get to do something else now. And moco doesn't have that really. And so I think that is something that is missing from the game. It just needs a big hype moment. Some reason to be like, man, I can't believe that happened, you know? And I mean, in Moco, what could that be? I guess that could be like you randomly got a new class from a boss that you farmed and you got.
Yeah.
But if it happens randomly, then that takes away from players being able to choose which weapons they're doing or which weapons they choose to buy. And what's the point of doing that if there's no power progression anyway? I don't know. And I don't know what that hype moment might be. That might be some cool big boss that just explodes and there's tons of XP that happens, or is able to like give you a rare piece of cosmetic that it gives. I don't know what it is, but definitely needs more hype big moments for streaming, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, hype moments definitely help, but you could also look at streaming, especially with Moco, as a community building event. I mean, that was the best part, even from the current version of Moco. You're able to get on with a bunch of the community and even just run those big death balls together, and it's just fun, and it's supporting the community to help support the other content you're making. So when this version comes out, to support your new classes that are coming to the game, or whatever type of content decides to be made, just bring community together for those. And the more hype moments, of course, the better those streams become and the more exciting they are. But at least for me, I'm not a full-time streamer. I look at myself more as a video creator.
Of course.
And streaming is, no matter what game I'm streaming for, it's about the community or about a big event that's just come to a game. I'll do streams for that.
Yeah, I'm same as Echo. I prioritize long-form videos, and then if I've got time, I will stream. But yes, the new iteration of Moco is more streamable because they're rotating content and things. And I think I kind of agree with Kairos. Yeah, it could do with some more hype moments, but I'm just thinking back to the hype moments I've had on stream in the past when I have streamed. It was like beating riffs in sub times, like nightmare riffs in sub 2 minutes, beating the dojos in sub 1 minute and things like that. And they were big hype moments for me on my streams. And I guess they'll still be kind of in this game as well. But yeah, I'm going to still try and prioritise long form videos. I've got some ideas, but it's going to be a case of I'm not sure how I'm going to approach it until the game goes live, kind of thing.
Yeah, I have the same with the streaming. I will also prioritize the videos, but I will also do streaming. I think it's really cool to be able to do the dead balls together for like a certain moment. But I think then if the dailies are done, maybe we can go over to playing rifts together, because I know a lot of people that watch the rifts and they're like, well, I don't have people to play with, and that's like this moment where they can find other people that are also interested in this rift to like play, even if it's not with me on the stream, it's still with others in the lobby.
Yeah.
So I think it can go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I do want to add a clarifying thing here, is that I do think that these community events and these buildings and things like that is good, but I'm thinking about Moco blowing up on Twitch and blowing up on streams.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen without big hype moments. If you can't get some big streamers to play your game and experience the thrill of big hype moments, they're not going to stream it. And so I totally agree. It's super fun to get on there, but like it's not going to be super valuable for me as a content creator to stream Moco without these big hype moments. I would rather spend my time just talking about classes and stuff like that in videos. Granted, I'm not a big streamer, but that is something that I've learned about the games that really pop off on streams. They're super big hype moments. They have those just like really satisfying big hype moments.
Yeah. Actually, you guys lit something inside my head, which the sub to nightmares and concluding them, it can also be a hype moment. For example, I love speed running in general of games. I'm a big Metroidvania fan, and I love to see players doing speed runs in Metroidvania.
Speed runs are great. Yeah, for sure.
And I love to see these videos, sometimes these clips from streaming where someone finally does the speed run and goes crazy. I think even there's a lot of games. Even Geometry Dash has that as well, which is super cool. And I can see also Moco having that as a hype moment. But besides that, because that's not for everyone, what would be for you? Can you give me an example of a hype moment that completely doesn't exist in the game? Something, I don't know, practical idea, just for me to picture, me and the audience to picture something super rare that only happens once in a blue moon, a cosmetic, or how do you feel that will be like a really good hype moment?
The big bosses.
Yeah, big, like a big world boss that pops up every now and then. You kind of have to be there to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been difficult too, not just
Yeah.
like a mega. It needs to be difficult and rewarding. Like, whoa, we actually
Yeah.
did it. Like, it might even be there that sometimes you see the boss, but you can't even kill it.
Yeah.
Other times, if you then can't kill it, it's so hard. Like, whoa, we actually did it, and I was part of the people that did it. And
Yeah.
I think that's like a great thing to look into.
I done a video on this, this exact thing, like a big world mega boss where loads of players go and then you get a specific drop from that world mega boss, and it gives it that like community thing as well, doesn't it? Because you're in the community saying, "Oh, come to this world, join my location," and trying to get everyone together as well, and then you're rewarded with this like super rare player title or cosmetic or whatever it may be.
Yeah, makes sense. Actually, I gave this idea to the team. I don't know if they bought it or not. I don't know if it's a great or a stupid idea. So now we have this Mocopedia, which is this bestiary where you have these monsters. And I thought about how much these mega charges and the death balls are so special for the players. And I thought, how about we do these very rare moments where, let's imagine, there's these very rare versions of a monster. I'm going to give an example. A version of a ladybug or something. And that goes once in a
shiny.
blue
Like a
moon.
shiny
It's a
form. Yeah,
shiny.
yeah.
Yeah, or shiny or something. And then someone goes on the chat, there's a shiny ladybug, everyone jump in. And then you kill that, you unlock this entry on the bestiary, and that only happens once in a
cool.
blue moon. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That looks cool.
I think that's a great thing to add into the game because, like, the bestiary should be like something that the only people that really care about it are going to be the completionists, right?
Yeah.
And so those are the hardcore fans, and it's fairly easy for you to add a shader to the ladybug and just add different colors and just give her an absurd amount of HP so that there's enough time for people to come and join, you know? And for you to just randomly like put it out there and then all of a sudden, yeah, like you said, everybody's sharing, like everybody go into this world at this time or whatever. Like, I think that's so fun.
Yeah.
I think that'd
Yeah.
be way cool.
I think it's
Yeah.
actually amazing because even if you run out of XP or the dailies to do, you still have something to maybe look forward to. You know, it
Yeah.
might pop, it might not be,
Yeah.
but there is something that keeps you playing at least. So I think it's a really great idea.
Okay. Thanks for supporting the idea.
It would have, it
That's-
would have to be. I think that people would need to know that that shiny could appear on the map.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
because you also like you also don't want people to like the fear of missing out is just like such a big thing for
Yeah.
people that really care. And so if it is just like at any time, at any day, this specific one that I want to come for, that's like really hard. But if you see the event pops up and you click on the info button, it's like what monsters are here, you tap on it and it sees, oh, there's a tiny chance that this shiny, okay, today's the day that I need to be paying attention kind of a thing. That sounds fun. And then when you're sleeping and you miss it, then that's sad. But if it repeats frequently enough, like maybe once every 2 weeks, you know, something like that. I don't know. I definitely think it's worth considering for future.
Yeah, I can
think-
imagine on a streaming these once in a blue moon events, and
I mean,
if it
there's
happens,
shiny hunting Pokemon streams that happen all the time, and literally all you're doing is you're running back and forth in the grass for hundreds of hours until finally the shiny pops up. It's so
Yeah.
boring for 99%. But when it happens, hype moment, right?
And then-
you
Yeah.
come up onto the stream, you're there. And I was there when he got the shiny, you know?
I even think that you can do it like a bit more, like less time between them because there are so many different monsters anyway. Like
Yeah.
there might be a world where there's a ladybug, but the ladybug might not come back for like 2 days or something. So I think you can do different monsters like more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. I was
Yeah.
thinking like one monster, you only get your shot every 2 weeks kind of a thing because there's so
Yeah,
many
yeah. But
monsters.
like, there might be different monsters that have a shiny form. That's what I'm.
Yes, one's
Yeah,
hard to
yeah,
say. It
yeah,
shouldn't just
yeah.
be one shiny. The ladybug is not special. Well, she's special in my heart. But
Yeah.
You can even have a once per season monster that drops that has massive HP, and then you can only get it at one time that it drops. Yeah, hype moment's a good idea.
yeah. That's yeah.
it needs more. It needs something. And what that hype moment is, it doesn't have to be a super legendary drop
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
legendary version or whatever. Just hype moments. That's the vision that I'm going for. But I like your idea.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You should be on the Moco developer team. Oh, you are.
Yeah, I am. That's true. I mean, it's still just my idea, so don't take it for granted that just because I talked about it, it's gonna go in the game at
Well,
the end
there's
of
clearly
the.
a lot of other things that need to be prioritized.
Yeah. There's so many things,
There's so many things.
that are on the list that it's impossible to do everything. But I mean, at the same time, this we are doing for the long run, not to have I don't know, an explosion next month or next 2 months. It's for the long run. If you think about for example, Brawl Stars, it's how many years? 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, it's coming up on 9 or 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and it exploded last year.
Yeah,
right?
2024 was massive for Brawl Stars.
Yeah.
And that was several years afterwards. Clash of Clans had a similar resurgence 10 years after it had first come out.
Yeah.
Clash Royale is
This year,
experiencing a big resurgence now. Like, Moco's going to have that, you know. At least that's how I hope. I think so.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
So, yeah. I hope that as well.
Yeah.
So we're going for the long run. So if our moment comes next year or in 2 years or 3 years, it doesn't matter. Matters more that it happens. But our philosophy is not to rush things; is to make things great and special, and disrupt the gaming market. Do something new and fresh.
Yeah.
That's
a PvE game that doesn't have power progression.
There you go.
That's certainly new.
There you go. Yeah,
different.
There you go. Yeah. So that's moco. So to finalize this amazing session, on a general note, what is it for you, the break it or make it thing for Moco?
Make the game accessible for as well the casuals as the grinders. They both have to have something to play for. That's the most important thing for the game.
Yeah. If the game doesn't have, like, there, you know, casual games, like, there's plenty of people that, like, when Among Us blew up, it was like, this is so fun, this is so cool, but it didn't have a hardcore enough game.
Yeah.
That it was missing the meats and potatoes. You know, it was fun and exciting for a little bit, and then you put it away, and you pretty much never play it ever again unless you have friends that bring it up, and you're like, cool. Moco needs to have that depth. It needs to have that sustenance. It needs to feel like a gamer's game. It really does. And if it doesn't, and you cater too much to making it a game that everybody could play, you will miss that audience of making it a gamer's game. But if it does, then that's awesome. That is my biggest concern. I think the team did a really excellent job swapping from builds to classes. I think the idea behind going from chapters and season resets to instead of rotating content, I feel really good about that too. My question is, will there be a reason for me to play every day? And will I feel rewarded for playing longer than those 30 minutes? Not that there can be trickle rewards that, like, yeah, I could go for the mastering every weapon and earning the shader and the title for every single weapon. But that doesn't sound enticing to me. It doesn't feel rewarding. It doesn't feel like if I spend my time doing that, that's going to be good, you know? If you can make the game feel rewarding for me as somebody who's not the sweatiest, but also loves to play a gamer's game, then you've got me. That's the one part I don't know yet. And that's the one part I won't know until after it comes out sometime in Q1 and I start playing every day. And we'll see. Yeah. I hope it is.
Yeah.
I would love that. I want it to be.
Of course.
And it might not even necessarily be in that first iteration, but that's the thing that needs to happen for me.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that you guys took away the chapter wipe. You know, losing progress was devastating to many players. Even myself, I played so much less the second time around because I just hated the idea of losing my progress. So changing that alone was a very positive change. Classes are great, and I mean, he kind of summed it up there, but just finding something that's in a positive way going to give players the addictability to want to come back, the need to come back because they just have to grind. It's just that much fun, and it's that rewarding. Giving those rewards is going to have people wanting to log in every day and play for extended sessions. And I think that's going to be the key to success. A lot of things have been put in place for a great gaming and social experience, but we don't want to be the Among Us that doesn't have the meat and potatoes as well.
Hey, we got leaderboards if they're substantial enough. Leaderboards, just make the rollouts good, make it last long enough, and I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, the make or break's going to be how successful the classes are, because now the power progression's being removed, and what we're essentially playing for in Moco now is class tokens to unlock classes. So if that's going to be successful, then the game can kind of snowball. But if it isn't, then the team will have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. for me, like, I'm going to circle this way back to Moco's early beginnings of being able to, like, collect resources. What I loved about that system was that every monster that I killed built up my collection somehow.
Yeah.
And each one felt meaningful and impactful of, like, what if someday I need these hundreds of thousands of dragon scales or something like that. It felt like every kill was something. And right now you get that with XP, but it's definitely not the same. And I don't even necessarily need resources to come back and materials, but I do want it to feel like every kill is good. And like, I just want to kill one more thing. I just want to keep going. I just want to keep playing. And if you can capture that essence in some way, I think that that's going to make it for Moco.
Do you feel the trackers are enough? Like this many monsters killed for a specific class, or no?
Like a tracker,
Like now we have trackers where if you kill an X amount of monsters with a weapon, then it keeps going up and stuff, and other metrics too. Do you think that's enough, or needs to be more?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I think that is enough for some players, or that is something that people will enjoy, but that's not enough for me because it's just a number.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
if you give me dragon scales, I have something. I recognize that it's just a digital resource, but it's mine and I own it. You know what I mean? It's something that it's built my collection. My treasure chest is getting more full, kind of a thing, as opposed to just like, oh yeah, I've just killed 1 million monsters. Like, I get it, that's cool. And there will be people that will flex like, wow, that guy took Speed Shot, the most boring weapon in the game, and he just killed everything with it. You know, like that's cool and that's fun and exciting. But I don't think that most players really care about that too much.
Okay.
And also, resources had a whole other slew of problems and wrong ways to play, and I totally understand why the team got rid of it. But that's the feeling that I want. You know?
Yeah. Talking more about the feeling than the
Actual thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, we question a lot within ourselves if collecting classes and maxing the classes are motivating enough for players to keep playing. I think it's very important for you to have a long-term goal. Also, PvE game has different challenges that PvP games don't have, because for a PvP game, you can just keep playing because there's always this motivator to win. If you win, you want to play more because you're winning. If you're losing, you want to play more because you want to kind of switch the losing losing momentum. For PvE games, it's always a bit more challenging to add that replayability. And I think the team did a great job on building so much content for the season for players to have something fresh to keep playing. But yeah, let's see how much in terms of long-term motivator, if collecting classes and max classes will be enough for players. If not, we are here to figure out that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's as long as it's not the core gameplay, I feel that it's
me too.
relatively easier to
The
fix.
team is also working on more modes. I'm not going to address the modes, but they are really actively thinking about making it more engaging, not just the world and stuff. They want to add more layers to it, and I'm all for it. I think that's also going to be engaging.
Yeah, exactly. New ways to play the game as well. That's it. That's basically everything we're working on, and I feel that the game has so many things that we can still do to make it better, and that's why it feels exciting. And as long as we see so many things to improve, we're going to keep doing it and improving it, making the game better and better. So yeah, I think this was great. It was amazing. I don't know if there was something that we still left to discuss, but I don't think not. I think we covered everything.
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
We're all making content on Moco, and if you want to see all the classes, definitely check out all of their videos on all of the classes because they're really fun. Don't expect them to be all finished because there's not. Some of them are like, I think there's like 3 buzzkill like icons right now, but they're all different weapons.
Placeholders.
Yeah, exactly. They're all placeholders and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited. I am really thankful that you guys took the time. There was a different way that the team could have done this. They could have, instead of paused everything and come back like you decided to do, you could have just done it gradually and like, oh, this update we're taking away power, and this update we're taking away chapters, and this update you could have done it a slow trickle, but that would have just been like, oh, this update feels worse than the last. Oh, they're taking away everything. Oh, they're taking away everything. And I think that the team did a really good job at just coming up with the plan and moving forward with it. And I just can't wait to get in my hands and play it every day. That's what I'm excited for. So, yeah, I'm hyped.
Yeah.
I'm hyped. Let's go.
Same.
Let's go.
Yeah.
On a final note, first things first, to really thank you guys for coming here. I'm very mindful of Moco right now. It's not a great game for a creator because it's not bringing the views. I mean, I'm super happy that your channel is doing better than ever.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe I should make more Moco videos.
But I understand, for example, for you that you do other games that maybe bring you more the views, but you still came from the US and being super jet lag just to come here, shoot some content with me, give the team a lot of feedback. I think it's amazing, and I'm really appreciative of that. You as well. I think you're not doing as much Moco as now.
I'm gonna make more content now.
Of course.
We have the more updates and stuff, so I
Of
can
course.
get more into that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna play more of the new stuff than the old Moco. But yeah, I will
Thanks for
share.
letting us take the developer build home.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I will share as much as.
Yeah, of course. I also want
Yeah.
to make your lives easier, but me and the whole team is really thankful for you guys to come here.
Well, thanks for having us. Like, I was really happy to be here, and I will want to come back. It was very nice.
I think the community as well is really thankful for you taking this opportunity. You didn't have to give us everything. You didn't have to tell us the whole plan.
Yeah.
You could have just waited and not really communicated. And I think the community is really thankful. Honestly, I think the community really felt like you kind of left us in the dark for too long
Yeah.
for a little bit there.
That's true, yeah.
And there were reasons behind it because
Of
you guys
course.
didn't even know what you were going to do. You were just
Exactly.
like, here's a problem. How do we fix it? And
Yeah.
then like discussions and weeks go by before you have a plan, and you came back when we had a plan. But being open with us and communicating with us as you go, I think is just going to be more and more appreciated. So thanks for doing that with us now, letting us show everything, and yeah, just massive thank you. I think the team's really great, and I think the community is gonna. I think the community has got a really good team here to believe in, as long as you continue to communicate with us and let us share these sneak peeks and stuff like that.
Awesome, yeah. All right, so it's time to go. Time to kick these randoms out back to the
Back in
streets.
the cold.
Back to the cold. Back to the streets. There are sneak peeks. I think we're gonna launch sneak peeks over the week, right? So their channels are in the description if you want to check them out to see more about Neo Moco. As for us, I think mo.convo will only be back next year, probably after we launch the game. I don't know with who or not, but I don't think this year we're going to do another mo.convo. Either way, stay tuned for our official channels, for their channels, because a lot of things are still coming, a lot of news, even before we launch the update. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me. We're super exciting. I think the new set, it's also amazing.
Yeah,
Got the revamp as well.
As
And
long
yeah.
as the bricks don't hit Echo in the head.
It's raining bricks today.
A couple of them have fallen off. Yeah. We kept it. It's funny. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
And this was it for mo.convo. Thank you for watching. See you.
Bye.
Let's go.